Do you want to take a life? Do you want to cross that line? Because it's a long way back from hell.
Arwen. Tolenilu. Ichaer guannar navalano sibado no kirar.
My mind is a raging torrent, flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
God darn it, Mr. Lamar. You use your tongue prettier than a $20 whore.
Here they come and the crowd cannot wait. Oh, hail Friday Night Tights. I apologize because I'm probably late. Oh, hail Friday Night Tights. Radical light and highly organized. It's Friday Night Tights, Friday Night Tights. If you're still not offended tonight, oh, hail Friday Night Tights. Rest assured that the chances are high. Oh, hail Friday Night Tights. Radical light and highly organized. It's Friday Night Tights, Friday Night Time has come, they are finally here. Oh, hail Friday Night Tights. We're not affiliated, just so we're clear. Oh, hail Friday Night Tights. Radical light, highly organized. It's Friday Night Tights. Sweet Mother Mary, turn on the oil you got real. It's Friday Night Tights, Friday Night Tights, Friday Night Tights, Friday Night Tights, Friday Night Tights.
Woo! Yeah! Woo! Let's go! Let's go. We're on Rumble. We're on YouTube. It's Monday. I played a song that's Friday themed. And I love how every time I play that, I've been doing it for a couple years now, 3 years. People go, it's not Friday. Friday is a state of mind. Okay. Friday is a state of mind. And I am grateful that I have a gig now where I don't have to go. I have a case of the Mondays. Has anybody ever asked you if you've had a case of the Mondays at all? Hail! Hertz Donut. The Sabanrab. Did I say that right? Alex Shapov. The Fan Plantation. Fan Plantation. Snacks. Gate. I can't say that first name at all. Effie Sousa. A Viewpoint. Primal Mike. Excuse me. Coffee. Lady Aaron D. Right before I say hi to a lady. Daddy President. Daddy. Sam Packer. Wayward Culture. Every time Melissa's late father, John Wagner, freaking legend, second father to me, would walk in her salon, all the gay boys would go, Daddy. What's up, Movie Erotic? My biggest fan. Eric K. and his wrench. Pete. Screwdriver Tuning. And Bob the Lobster. Bob the Lobster. So let's take care of some business. I have a lot of ad reads this week, so we're doing them on I mean, that's great. We're doing them on Monday. So what do we want to start with, X-Ray? I'm going to flip a coin, X-Ray girl. We'll start with the one I can have a hard time saying, perplexity. Perplexity. Let me ask you something. How much do you spend every day on a web browser? A lot of time. How much time do you spend clicking around online, searching, scrolling, typing, endless tabs? It's a lot, right? Yes, it is. Well, there's a new AI web browser from Perplexity called Comet that is completely changing the way you are able to interact with your browser. Using Comet feels like having a personal assistant living in your web. I need one in my head. Web browser that can actually do things for you across the internet. Yes, do things, not just give you answers. You can ask Comet to, excuse me, to handle tasks for you. And it literally clicks, types, searches, and scrolls just like you would to get things done for you in the background while you go about your day. Comet can shop for you, make reservations, book travel, summarize articles or videos, which is helpful for content creators, send emails, schedule meetings, and a lot more to make your life easier. Let me show you how it works. If just say you type in, find me articles about J.K. Rowling and Emma Watson's Twitter beef, or where is the best carne asada burrito in San Antonio? I have yet to find that. But I'm still searching. As Comet works, you voice over what's happening while the screen recording plays. Comet checks your calendars, scans restaurant options, books the reservations, creates the invite, and emails John. Pretty cool, right? Download Perplexity's all-new AI web browser, Comet, by heading to pplx.ai/nerdrotic. That's pplx.ai nerdrotic, and let your browser work for you. Plus, right now, when you download Comet, you get a month of Rumble Premium for free. And that's pplx.ai nerdrotic. Thank you. One more to go. I just got back from physical therapy, by the way, for my shoulder, because I'm an old man. I felt, I guess, good and bad that I was by far the youngest person in there. I'm like, oh, shit. All right. So this one is lean. Lean. Doctors call it weight cycling. Half of Americans do it. And if you do it enough, you are at risk of diabetes, liver damage, heart attack, and stroke. Weight cycling is when you lose 10 or so pounds, but then you put it right back on, plus a couple of more. That puts tremendous strain on your organs and leads to serious health issues. Bottom line, most people need help to stop weight cycling, and there's a great way. Non-prescription lean was created by doctors. Lean is an oral supplement, not a GLP injectable, and the science is impressive. Its studied ingredients also target weight loss in 3 powerful ways. Lean helps maintain healthy blood sugar. It helps control appetite and cravings, and it helps burn fat by converting it into energy. And burning fat helps keep the weight off. If you want to lose meaningful weight at a healthy pace and keep it off, add lean to your diet and exercise lifestyle. Get 20% off when you enter Nerdrotic at takelean.com. That's code Nerdrotic at takelean.com. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, as people roll in. We have got things to talk about. We have got some squaring up to do. Hollywood, as predicted, here, let's get Gina Carano's tweet. Let's do some visual aids with this. I will scroll down. There she is. The lovely and talented Gina Carano. Woman of the people. Woman of the people. She posted this up a couple days ago. Watching the shit I predicted unfold after everyone told me I was crazy. Now, that could apply to damn near every one of you in the chat. It's not just content creators. It's not just Gina. It's a lot of people, which that's such a great picture, by the way. It says so much. The art of the meme. It says so much. Now, many people in our sphere, and again, this includes you. Says doesn't include. I'm not sitting here saying hashtag Nerdrotic was right. I just want to point that out. I want to make that abundantly clear. But this comes from emails within Hollywood. This comes from DMs and emails from you guys that I've gotten since I've started doing this stuff and wading into the undeniable culture war that if Hollywood continued down a certain path, it would lead to certain destruction. So there's COVID, there's the strikes. We've all talked about that. There is a breaking of their business model. There is, which is, we have the underlying factors, which is oversaturation, corporatization, and breaking the broadcast model, which includes like getting rid of the 22 episode television series that would have people locked into your broadcast network for half a year at a time on weekly release. There was also, again, the strikes. There was a lot of investment money that dried up, and there was a lot of casting talent instead of hiring it. But the foundation of this failure, of all of it, because all of those things are bad enough, but you can recover. You can actually recover from those things. What you can't recover from, if you've ever worked at a business, worked at retail, owned a business, know anything about business, the one thing you can't do is fuck with your customer base or your potential customer base. You don't fuck with the money. Ever. But thanks to ego, hubris, and I would say, there's the nefarious part of it, and then there's just functional retardation. And that's part of it too. But when you alienate half of your potential audience and half of your audience, you tend not to recover from that. And Hollywood isn't around to be a niche brand. It was once the king of entertainment, providing entertainment. It's no longer that. There's gaming. Gaming has its own problems, but Hollywood in of itself has been the architect of their own destruction by pissing you off constantly. And towards the end of last year, during the cultural shift, many of us warned them, hey, Donald Trump's back in office. We saw your act the first time he was in office. You lost your little hysterical minds. You can't afford to do that again. Not after all the stuff that happened over the last 4 years when your guy was in office, by the way. And you didn't take advantage of that, and you decided to obsess over the guy who was in office previous to him while not really criticizing the guy who was in office at all. And now you're going to collectively lose your hysterical minds on top of, let's not forget, I don't get into it here because it would be like going to Tim Pool for a TV show recommendation or a movie recommendation, coming to me about Israel, Palestine. I ain't the guy. But we cannot deny that conflict has caused a conflict, a rift in Hollywood, a huge one that they didn't need. And so while they're dealing with all that, they still won't discuss the real problem, which is pissing off half the audience. So we're in this era this year where I guess I could even start with, let's start with Ridley. Good old Ridley. Where is he? Ridley Scott shouldn't be popping off at this point. Just saying. Ridley should not be popping off. But I mean, he's stating the obvious here. Ridley says Hollywood is so drowning in mediocrity, he's been forced to watch his old films. And according to Ridley Scott, they're pretty good. And some of his old films are. But I just want to point out, I saw Napoleon. I saw Gladiator 2. Shut up. With respect, you're a legend. You've directed some of my favorite all-time films. Shut up. Yes, go back and watch Blade Runner again. Go back and watch Legend. Go back and watch The Martian. But shut the hell up. But he's not wrong. It's drowning in mediocrity. Now, I would argue that achieving mediocrity at this point would be somewhat of a victory for Hollywood. Wouldn't say they're at mediocrity. I would still say they're at most of their stuff is absolute shit. And then occasionally we get a Mobland, you know, or a Weapons. So this past weekend, they're really excited that one woke after another passed 100 million worldwide, and maybe it has legs. I don't really care. Doesn't look like it's going to make its money back based on its budget, which was 130 to 170, depending on accounts, plus 70 marketing. So we'll just say on their numbers, it's $200 million budget. It ain't going to reach it. If it had been at the $50 million budget that I thought it was, it would totally become a hit, but it's not. And if you compare it to Sound of Freedom's still ahead of it. Our man Alan Ng is out there pointing this out, that he's getting a lot of criticism for his review, for his very honest review, and he's getting accused of being too political. And his retort was, well, why? And his retort is to all the corporate critics, by the way. And he's all, well, why didn't you either not review or not like Sound of Freedom? Think that had something to do with your politics too. So again, shut the fuck up and sit down. But this is the kind of movie that Hollywood's it's woke Hollywood porn, basically. They can flick their bean or whack off to something like this and go, oh my God, ICE is great. Or ICE is terrible and Antifa's great. Sorry, they would never say ICE is great. And it's going to win all the Academy Awards. And how is that going to look to the general movie public who is tired of divisive Hollywood, who is tired of this constant theme that we live in this horrible country, a country so horrible that people are willing to die to come here. That horrible. Nobody's rushing to China. Does China have an illegal immigration problem? Maybe they do. I don't know. China. You know, people are so proud of their heritage and country that they fly their flags here. Like, just go back home then if it's so great. Oh, this evil country isn't actually evil. Again, there's people dying to come here. But that's the theme that we're seeing, that we've seen in everything. And we talked about this a little bit on, or actually a lot on FNT. And it was a heady article. Thank God we had Little Platoon there to guide us through that. We had somebody with intelligence. But it's a heady article that basically is talking about the Me Too era, but it more importantly was talking about the degradation of men in entertainment. We see that through gaming. We see like where it's the worst is commercials, and all entertainment. And the reason it's imprinted there is so it becomes generational. It's a generational message. Because whether people watch it or not, it's imprinted in that movie forever. And it basically said every male is ineffectual, duplicitous or just downright evil, right? Which can be applied to so many Marvel movies, so many Star Wars movies and TV shows, all of Star Trek, all of Doctor. It can be applied to so many things over so many years. Same thing is going on with how they portray subtly and not so subtly this country, the times we're in from their perspective. And basically, we live in a fascist Nazi country. We're told this time and time again. The Boys is probably one of the most prevalent. We just had Peacemaker. There's subtle messaging that at the end of Batman. With the incels, we could go on and on with that messaging. Now, part of it is the bigotry of low expectations. You can't portray in Hollywood anybody as a bad guy except for white people now. And even if it's like if they go with the female baddie, it's always she's misunderstood, or it's kind of a righteous anger that you can understand. But it's just repeated over and over and over again for years and years and years. So in One Woke After the Another, Leonardo DiCaprio is an ineffectual male. He's a fucking loser who builds bombs. And they're like, oh, it's a father-daughter story. I don't know where anybody... That's what they try to portray. And I talk about that in my video. They try to make it a father-daughter story, but it is a story where the daughter becomes the parent by the end. Leo's still smoking weed, and his daughter takes his wife's role, basically, as mommy. Not saying that doesn't happen in real life. Not saying that at all. I'm just saying this is a repeated theme for male characters. And we also have it's also doubled with, oh, we live in this fascist, racist country. It's the same fucking theme. It's the same thing. Everything's anti-fascism. Now, anti-authoritarian is good. There's nothing wrong with that. But we only get it from one side. We only get it from one side. You notice that? Not a lot of diversity. Not a lot of diversity. So what Hollywood is facing is a very bleak time. Theaters are fucked right now. Completely fucked. When the trades are out there going, oh my God, One Woke After Another crossed 100 million worldwide. Well, it made what? 20 million. What did it make this week? It doesn't matter. It made 50. It has 50% drop from 48. So it was like 20 million. We're not talking about a runaway hit. We're not even talking about Sinners. And what beat it was Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, which was, is this even a full movie, or was it just a glorified? You can tell me in the chat. Did anybody go see the Taylor Swift thing this weekend? Do you have a daughter? You can use that excuse if you want. Even though in truth you wanted to go see it, you could just say, I have a daughter. We'll let you off the hook. So it leads with one battle after another, although it got beat by Taylor Swift. One battle after another tops 100 million worldwide. Swifties shell out 13 million overseas, and Avatar resurfaces international box. Yeah, because they re-released Avatar. So update: Paul Thomas Anderson, notable holds, blah 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 blah. Are they going to tell? Taylor Swift officially released party of Showgirl is forecast at 13 million. Oh, come on. Where's the weekend? Is this here? Do we have something newer? Let's go. That is not today. Hang on. One moment. That's not today. I don't know if we have updated numbers yet. Let's go. There we go. Okay, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. You Swifties out there. You Swifties out there. Okay. Taylor Swift Showgirl, which I don't know if this was a glorified music video or if it's an actual concert. I have no idea what it is and I don't care. Taylor Swift Showgirl kicks higher to 34 million. Still, Anatomy for album pick launch. Dwayne Johnson's lowest opening ever. The Smashing Machine at 5.9 million box office update. So Taylor Swift took the weekend, which is fantastic for them. The Showgirl is taller this morning as AMC Theaters and Variance's Taylor Swift, the official release party of Showgirl, is coming in at 34 million per estimates. AMC will report the official figure later this afternoon. So was this only at AMC too? We're hearing that A24 is the Smashing Machine. Dwayne Johnson's lowest opening ever at the domestic box office is coming in at 5.9. Ooh. I saw the trailer and it looked fine, but I guess the movie's just bad. Warner Brothers, one battle after another, is coming in at 11 million at the domestic box office. 11 million. Which is a 50% drop, but considering it was pretty low to begin with, pretty noble. So it's at 42 domestic, and I think it's another 50 international. The total weekend boxes for all movies is estimated to come in at 83.3 million, up 12% over last weekend and 6% off from 1 year ago when Warner Brothers Joker Folie à Peu bombed. With a 37.6 million opening. So it's below the weekend of last year. One battle after another made $11 whole million this weekend domestically. It's going to get the focus. It's going to get all the Academy Awards, and it'll probably guarantee that this will be one of the least watched Academy Awards in history. And it will further damage the Hollywood brand, who is far more focused on giving a middle finger to half the country than actually fixing themselves. Because, circling back to what I said before, one of the warnings I gave and many others are, Hollywood, we're not asking you, nobody's asking you to change your politics or like a president you don't like. But, let's give you some unsolicited advice from a moviegoer who would love to still enjoy movies that you don't deserve. Unsolicited advice that you do not deserve. Bite your tongue. Dial it back. Hold off. Tell Mark Ruffalo to shut the fuck up and act. Your entire industry is in peril right now. Your entire fucking industry is in peril. You need to shut up. And they won't. They absolutely won't. There needs to be more Jamie Lee Curtis's, who definitely we don't agree. I don't agree with, but at least she came out and sincerely, talked about Charlie Kirk and how tragic that was. You need more of that, and a lot less of Jimmy Kimmel's getting canceled by the Trump administration. It's a free speech issue when you guys didn't have a fucking thing to say for the last 4 years. And everybody recognizes that. Everybody saw that you were trying to shift the narrative of Charlie Kirk. Most people were aware of this now. And Taylor Swift's, whatever the fuck that was, that's only in one theater chain, by the way. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. It said AMC, so I'm guessing it was one theater chain. Smoked the rest of your movies. Demon Slayer, an anime, crushing it right now. An anime that you need to watch the fucking show and previous movies. You need to do a bunch of homework for. crushing it. Yeah, Jimmy and Colbert, like what you're bringing up in chat is you said they were together. They are soaking up the last moments of their relevance. You know what? They're both insanely fucking rich, right off into the sunset. But that's not what matters to them. Oh no. They need to be relevant. That is something that hurts Hollywood in general, right to its soul. It's soul crushing to them. Because it's not about money. It's about the fame. It's about the relevance. You can tell the creators and actors who are there because they genuinely love their craft. They're really fucking good at it and they love their craft and they're a little weird about it. But and then there's I just do this to be famous. And they can get by on some talent, but you take away Hollywood's, like, how crushed were they during the election last year? They were destroyed because they saw their relevance in real time have no meaning at all. And most of it's fake anyway. I mean, that's why they do red carpet events, these big film festivals, special screenings for them, lined up interviews with softball questions. Doesn't drive anybody to the fucking movie. Nobody gives a shit. Once in a blue moon, you'll get a soundbite, but most of it is all, what's your favorite part of the movie? It's all drab, and it's all there to massage the movie star's ego or the creator's ego. It's part of the deal for signing up for the movie. Red carpet. I saw you. I saw you there. I saw you there. But yes, they are they're in a little bit of trouble right now because, as we said at the end of July, which was the month that was going to decide the fate of the superhero film, and it did definitively. It will wane in mediocrity. That's what it'll do. The great waning in mediocrity. And the same might happen to Hollywood. And it sucks because I like the theater. I like going to the theater. When am I going to the theater again? Tron? Yeah, I'm going to see Tron. There was an early screening of Tron. IMAX, plenty of seats. Plenty of seats. And then after that, I'm going to see Frankenstein in the theater. That comes out, I think, in the middle of the month. Okay, so yeah, Taylor Swift kicked everybody's ass, and Dwayne Johnson's movie was not a hit nor a critical success. Oh, and 1 year and 2 days ago, Joker 2 flopped. A truly horrible movie that will be a misunderstood masterpiece, ladies and gentlemen. The media literate are telling me that it will be a misunderstood masterpiece in 10 years, not unlike The Last Jedi. Not unlike The Last Jedi. And we're coming up on it. This is going to be the 10-year anniversary of The Force Awakens in 2 months. Yeah, just a little over 2 months will be the 10-year anniversary of The Force Awakens. Time flies. Time flies. It appears that, where's the article? So where is the, oh God. Hang on a second. So it appears, hang on. Okay. Okie dokie. Here we go. I found it. This article was from this morning. So, as you guys heard and saw on Friday Night Tights and other places, that Amazon, in their infinite wisdom, decided to throw up a bunch of posters, a bunch of old Bond posters, and remove the guns. Okay. So, they removed the guns. We can take a look at that. Where's the tweet? Yeah, show me that. So they removed all the guns from the, not every picture had a gun, but a lot of them did, and they took them away. Far be it for me to point out that if zoom in on one of them, X-Ray Girl, just Octopussy. Yeah, zoom right in on Octopussy right there. Octopussy. Far be it for me to point out that in the 007 logo, there's a gun. So some, I'm guessing, woke white woman who works in a marketing department. It could have been a woke black woman too. Or a very gay man, because no dude would do this. Decided to remove the guns from the character that is known for having a license to kill with guns. Remove the guns from the posters where their fucking logo has a gun. This is as retarded as Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light, as retarded as that Jaguar ad. I'm going to say it just like they do in the UK. Jaguar. And it sends up a giant red flag. A giant red. Listen, I'm like okay with Denis Villeneuve and more okay with Stephen Knight from Peaky Blinders writing it. So Denis is directing, Stephen Knight is writing. They have yet to pick a Bond. I'll get into my thoughts on that in just a moment. Well, hang on. Remove that, X-Ray Girl. Amazon Prime Video removed guns from James Bond posters, then stealthily took artwork down after online backlash. The fans win again, but they should have never had to say anything. So congratulations for reversing your completely fucking retarded move. Amazon Prime Video has quietly taken down the James Bond artwork after getting backlash online from fans who spotted that 007's gun had been airbrushed out. Last week, artwork for the franchise was posted on the Prime Video UK website, in which across each film image where a gun had previously been displayed, Bond had effectively been digitally disarmed. In several cases, such as Dr. No and GoldenEye, the iconic Walther PPK had been edited out of his hand, while in others, it had been cropped out. In the case of A View to a Kill, Roger Moore's arms looked like they had been lengthened, cutting his gun from the frame. It was so terrible. The doctored image didn't go unnoticed, with many. Oh, look at our boy. Hey, you made it to Variety. John Douglas. The doctored images didn't go unnoticed, with many on social media criticizing the censorship and asserting that it was a warning of what is to come with 007, now in the hands of Amazon. Author John A. Douglas says they photoshopped all the guns out of James Gunn's movie thumbnails just in case you still had hope for Amazon being in charge of the franchise. Yeah, that hope is gone. British actor Rufus Jones' rivals WA joked that the posters looked like the newly gunless Bond was now making a rude gesture. It did. He no longer has a license to kill, ladies and gentlemen. He has a license to harm you a little bit. He has a license to say stop, or I'll say stop again. Following James Bond's Day on October 5th and growing online backlash, Prime Video UK has now stealthily, much like the super spy himself, removed the controversial artwork altogether and replaced it with stills from each film. However, it has been noted online that none of the stills feature Bond carrying his gun. Prime Video refused to comment on the matter. For many 007 fans who commented online, the artwork situation may have been a troubling look for the future of James Bond. Yes. Especially with the new film being readied and Denis Villeneuve in the director's chair. However, the controversy may simply be a result of a rogue agent in a compliance department. Maybe. But last time I checked, Amazon is a mail order company. They're a mail order company. They're not a studio. Primarily, they are a mail order company, which means they're nebulous giant corporation, and their marketing and HR are going to have a lot of fucking power and a lot of say. And why are they making James Bond stuff? So they can sell James Bond stuff. Good luck selling James Bond throwing, it's in the UK. You can't have knives either. The pepper spray? Is he going to have fucking pepper spray? Listen, I'm still worried. Denis Villeneuve is a competent director. Is he the best director for Bond? I say no. I say no. I said it at the time. I'm like, he's fine. But I honestly don't see the difference between him and Sam Mendes as far as their approach to filmmaking, how much levity they have in their filmmaking, how much swagger. They are they are technically good directors. Arguably, Sam Mendes has more swagger than Denis. Denis is very sterile. Very sterile. That's why he was good for Dune. But he's very sterile. Artistically beautiful. Everything's set up perfect. But it's missing some fucking balls. It's missing mojo, which Bond needs. I would say a better person for Bond would probably be in his prime. He's had some big misses. But I'm thinking back to like even Gentleman Guy Ritchie, Man from U.N.C.L.E. Guy Ritchie, even Sherlock Holmes Guy Ritchie. I don't need Bond to be high art that will be nominated for multiple Academy Awards and BAFTAs. No, I want Bond killing people, shagging, driving around in awesome cars, few gadgets. He could be a badass, but he also has a little bit of a wink and a smile because he loves his job. Not fucking Daniel Craig, where I'm so miserable as James Bond. Fuck that. We don't need to go crazy and go opposite. All right. I am a fan of the Roger Moore era, but we don't need to go there. But you need to strike a balance and make it fun. Bond needs to be fun. It needs to be really good, and it needs to be fun. It's an action movie. And I don't need Bond being taught lessons of misogyny and any of that. But that's why it's probably better as a period piece. Or if there's a brave filmmaker out there who just says, fuck it, we're going to have Bond crush pussy and kill people in the modern day. Fuck you. And you know what? It'll probably make more money. I saw some, but again, Denis Villeneuve, I don't see a difference between him and Sam Mendes. I don't. Stephen Knight, that's a good writer for it. That's a good fucking writer for it. So well done. Well done. We'll see who they pick for Bond. I saw people throwing around Gillian Anderson as M. No. I like Gillian Anderson. Big X-Files fan. No. No. No, we already had a female M. You know what we don't need right now? A fucking girl boss bossing around Bond. Not after the girl boss trope has been just fucking done to death. So no. Flat out no. It was fine before, but it's already been done. We don't have to establish it. We can certainly go back and do something different. You know, Rafe Fiennes, because Mahler's listening. Rafe Fiennes. Let's bring him back. We'll see. That's such a big red flag. You know, I remember early days of Amazon getting the rights to the Rings of Power or to Lord of the Rings. I was like, God, this might be awesome. What are they going to do? Adapt some of the Silmarillion? Fucking awesome. Do the War of the Last Alliance? Okay. Let's see what they do. Amazon's got more money than God. This is great. And then we heard there was going to be a bad robot, a bad reboot connection. I'm like, oh. And look what we got. Look what we got. Yeah, like I think you saw it in the chat mentioned like GoldenEye, License to Kill, For Your Eyes Only. I mean, just pick a Sean Connery Bond film. Thunderball, Dr. No, Spy Who Loved Me. Like those are Bond films. Make it in that tone. Her Majesty's Secret Service. Axis Studios, the animation studio that made Eyes of Wakanda, has filed for bankruptcy. If that doesn't tell you that the MCU is dead, nothing will. Is that true, Eddie? that's terrible. X-Ray Girl, please stream Ghost of Yotai. Your only hope is as nor anyone else is streaming it. Plus, it'll be a great way to promote your own work. Yeah, I don't know why nobody's streaming that. That seems like a missed opportunity. Google's deleting negative Ghost of Yotai reviews. They are? Why? It's weird. Not surprised. The AI is deleting it. Rush is touring in 2026. Getty and Alex announced this morning. I missed their R40 tour. There's no replacing Neil, but I'm happy to see them out. Yeah, if they're playing, that's fine. And Neil probably would have wanted them to go out. I won't see it. They're not Rush without Neil. I've seen them plenty with Neil. Jason Spudich has become a member. Welcome, Jason. Welcome. Leak Culture Hacks 7 shills have ruined excitement for Doomsday. It's their judgment day. If it flops, they retreat or double down on Secret Wars. I don't know what the leaks are, but I have a very bad feeling about that movie. I think a lot of people do. Very tall task to have that many characters who were basically, I mean, it's an animated movie. Can we just call it what it is? It's a fucking animated movie. Which they just should have done a full-on animated movie. Hey, Gary, did you see Tulsa King? If so, what do you think of the self-driving car scene? I thought that was kind of funny. Promo Mike for $10. I did a watch party on the main channel, and it's feeling off. I still like the show, but it's the writers changed. So Terrence Winter, who wrote for The Sopranos and Boardwalk Empire, is a great writer, is no longer writing for the show. He wrote for the first 2 seasons, and he is missed. So it's Sheridan and a couple of other people, and the guy running it's Mayor of Kingstown. So it looks like they were going to go in a direction at the end of season 2. And aside from keeping the government kidnapping thing, they just veered away from everything else. And they're into this whiskey thing. If it's settled down more in the 3rd episode for me. The 2nd episode, I liked it, but it might be the worst episode of the series. There's something that definitely feels off, but the car scene was fucking funny. Hail, Gary, my brother. Hail to you, Cole Hauser. Arrah. Praise Arrah. Yoping Tom for $6.99. Yesterday, someone mentioned Cabin in the Woods on Forbidden Frontier. Watched it. Amazing gem of a movie. Yeah, Drew Goddard, Joss Whedon was behind that too. Very angel like Wolfman and Hart vibes. Had it great back then. We really did. Drew Goddard, who also I watched The Martian last night. I watched The Martian last night. I like it. It's a good movie. But yeah, Drew Goddard's good. He's supposedly in James Gunn's writing room. I don't know what he's doing. But I imagine the thing Drew Goddard does will probably be the best thing in the James Gunn's DCU. Do you have a favorite Hobbit trilogy fan edit? Garrett's was it Darth Call has one out there. Garrett's boy Darth Call. Somebody sent me one. I don't know who did it. Oh no, it was fuck, I forgot who did it. I like that edit, but I don't know whose it is. Woogie Boo Beautiful for whatever the hell that says. Thank you for the 2 Canadian pesos. Movie Erotic, best Arrowverse crossover, best DC D plus MCU show. Best Arrowverse is that okay. Crossover. It's terrible, but the Crisis on Infinite Earths one, the one towards the end, because you got so many good cameos. It's still terrible. The only thing good about the Arrowverse were first couple seasons of Arrow and the first couple seasons of Flash. The best D plus MCU show. X-Men 97. X-Men 97. An AG nominee in Virginia called for conservatives and their children to be unalived. No unity, and these demons, no turning down the temperature. Dawnbreaker for $5. No, and Hollywood's not either. And Hollywood needs to if they want to survive. But I think that, I mean, there's multiple possibilities, but there's 2 main ones. Is Hollywood's going to go hysterical, and then management is going to have to step in and rein in the activists. I don't know how you do that, though. For example, let's get to Paramount. They're big news, Paramount. Okay, Paramount. That conflict I was talking about, that's a big problem. It's a big problem in Hollywood. Considering who signs most of the checks in Hollywood. Let's just be real. I'll get to you in a second, Matthew. So, who signs most of the checks in Hollywood? The Jews. I'm just going to say it. Because it's true. I don't know. You can absolutely say it. Why am I getting extra? Why am I? It's not your fault. I'm just bitching at you because you're here. Why am I getting a connection thing? I'm on fiber for fuck's sake. Fucking StreamYard. Excuse my language. Why am I saying excuse my language? I say fuck all the fucking time. Probably because there's ladies in there. Hang on. Where did that go? I got to find that article again. So that conflict in the sandbox is causing a lot of problems in Hollywood because the people who sign the checks in Hollywood are the Jews. Don't think I'm breaking any news there. So it's causing some problems. It is. Because you got one side rooting for one side and one side rooting for the other side. One side rooting for the other side. So as you may or may not know, Barry Weiss, you might know Barry Weiss's name from the Twitter files, from the X Twitter files, the X Twitter files. And her and Matt Taibbi did some great work. These are not MAGA people, by the way, neither of them, but they both broke away because Barry Weiss used to work for the New York Times, and I can't remember where Matt Taibbi used to work. Big corporate publication, mainstream, state-run, official version of events publication. They both broke away from that and tried to be journalists and pulled it off. And they did the whole thing on the X Twitter files, which is historic. It's historic. It's worse than Watergate by orders of magnitude. Will Hollywood make movies, multiple movies on it, and give them Academy Awards? Boomers, you bring up Watergate and Woodstock, and they just spontaneously start jerking off and flipping their bean. It is their favorite subject in the world. Old hippie boomers, not the nice ones here in the chat, but old hippie boomers. Most of them in Hollywood. You just say the words Watergate or Woodstock and they start fapping. Twitter Files is worse than fucking Watergate. And it's memory hold. Absolutely memory hold. Our president, his administration, our security agencies, our three-letter agencies, infiltrated, coerced, and some of these companies willingly went along, but robbed average American citizens. Some of these three-letter agencies are technically they ain't supposed to be working here, and they're definitely not supposed to be working in a private company and coercing a private company. Never mind the collusion between the private companies that was going on, which is against the law too. So many laws are broken. So many people should be in jail for what they did. Doesn't even get brought up. But they robbed you of the right. So they weren't like taking a talk show host, a horrible talk show host, and removing him from the air for 5 days. They were getting Susan from Bakersfield with 5 followers, getting her account taken away and removing her post. And then times that by thousands, tens of thousands, maybe more, robbing American citizens of their rights and forming a narrative that led to businesses just being destroyed, careers being destroyed, lives being destroyed so much where suicide upticked, relapse in addiction upticked to astronomical levels. So Barry Weiss, Matt Taibbi exposed that. So good work for them. Barry Weiss also has some media organization I can't even remember the name of, and I'm sure somebody in the chat does, that you probably never heard of, that Paramount paid $150 million for. Tim Poole made a video on this, and he's right. He gets into the details and ins and outs. Technically, he says, and I completely agree, that his organization is more valuable than Barry Weiss's, more recognizable than Barry Weiss's, and not worth $150 million. So Paramount overpaid for Barry Weiss's organization, and now she will be the editor-in-chief at CBS News. Okay. Barry comes from one angle on one particular issue. That, like, for example, our good friend Kurt Metzger would come from the opposite point of view. We'll say that Barry Weiss and Jimmy Dore, Kurt Metzger, opposite ends on that issue. So just to put that out there. But is it sus that the Nepo baby Ellison paid $150 million for Barry? Great work on the Twitter X-Files, Barry. Great work. $150 million for your media organization that nobody's fucking heard of? Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Something is. I'll let Kurt Metzger speculate on that one, but let's just say it happened. So Paramount is the big change is happening. You could see the Skydance logo before, like Tulsa King and everything. Haven't done a fucking thing about Star Trek yet, so whatever. 30 Paramount employees slam studio leaders for condemning Israel film boycott. You are aligning yourselves with the genocide of Gaza. How do you think they're going to feel about Barry Weiss taking over CBS? And Everybody's signing letters. We got people signing letters that are for Israel. We got people signing letters who are against Israel. A lot of people signing fucking petitions and letters. Not doing anything other than that. They're actually having their assistant probably fill it out for them while they pretend to get. Ryan Long has a great video on like the whole Israeli Palestine, like a celebrity trying to decide where they stand on the Israeli Palestine thing. It's a fucking great video. On September 17th, a group of roughly 30 Paramount Skydance employees sent a letter, a strongly stern letter, to the office of CEO David Ellison, son of Larry Ellison, billionaire, and other senior executives, slamming the company for aligning with a genocide in Gaza. I think they talked about some peace thing today. I know nothing about it. After 2 weeks without receiving a response, the group followed up on October 1st with a list of demands, including a call for the company to donate $1 million to the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. So these 30 employees are going to these 30 employees are going to write a threatening letter to their new boss. How's that going to work out for them? I don't care what side you're on. I do not give a shit. I'm just looking at it from the, I'm going to demand of my new boss that you donate to my cause, or what? Or what? 30 employees or what? I don't care what your stand is. I don't give a shit what your stand is. You come at me with threats and ultimatums. I'd be like, let's see what your or what is. Come on. The employee group, which calls itself both Paramount Employees of Conscience and Paramount Employees for Human Rights. You're going to be Paramount ex-employees of Conscience and Paramount former employees for human rights. That's what you're going to be. The unemployed for Conscience and the unemployed for human rights operates anonymously. Obviously, members did not sign their names on the letter for fear of retaliation, doxing, and elimination, given the company's upcoming well-publicized layoffs. I'm sure it's going to be super effective, guys. Really effective. Well done. Who's to say this isn't just one guy? Who's to say this isn't just one guy who just made this shit up? Oh my God. Yeah, Hollywood's got some trouble on their hands. Could Barry Weiss improve CBS? Sure. I mean, like, why bother? At this point, why bother? But maybe. The only thing I give a shit about is, what are you going to do with Star Trek, David Ellison? Why isn't Alex Kurtzman fired yet? And why haven't you announced that everything he's done is part of the Kelvin universe? If you want to fix your fucking crown jewel, if you even want to hope to partially fix it to get some of your audience back, that you'll never get it'll never reach the heights it had reached in the Berman era and even after that, as far as merchandise being sold. But if you want to recover some of that, you have to fire Kurtzman and you have to put everything he's made into the Kelvin universe and say, we start again from moving things forward. By the way, we can say, Star Trek Enterprise, but like moving things forward, we start from post Voyager going on. Yeah, fuck the goddamn TNG movies. I like one of them, but we could sacrifice those, especially Generations. Fuck that movie. Fuck that movie. All right. Let me get to you guys. Who should be M in the next Bond film? Lucy Law? No women. No women. You heard me. No fucking girl boss. I'm done with girl bosses. See, it was fine when Dame Judi Dench did it. It was fine, but then it led to this era, and it's already been done. And now I don't care how good your Bond is. If I see him fucking getting bossed around by another insufferable fucking girl boss, I just don't want to see it. Fuck that. No. Masculinity. That's what Bond is, pure masculinity, and that's what you make it about. You don't make Moneypenny a fucking warrior woman. You make her hot and clever. No. I like Lucy Lawless. Hell no. He said only when they know pain will they move on policy. This is Don Breaker for $5. Yeah. I was local 44, lived through the 2008-2009 strike. I was a bad one too. Runaway production as a problem then. California never cared to stop it. Alex, you're right, Alex Belfour. The roots of the, you know this, but for the people who don't know, the roots of the last strike come from that strike. Like, things were not resolved in the 2008 and 2009 strike, which was devastating. And then it was already in the plans, Alex. You know this. Set-top boxes and streaming were already talked about way back then, because I was working at Technicolor and they were talking about those things, and that was in 2009. So they were talking about streaming, set-top boxes. As a matter of fact, Technicolor had one. I don't even know if I think they produced it. It just sucked. But I was at the big meeting. I was in the big meeting where they introduced it. But yeah, goes way back. What literary character do you say film? What literary character did you say film Constantine was identical to? I heard you say it, but I don't recall. I don't recall either. Well, Constantine is, he's from Sandman. He's from Hellblazer. But what literary character is he identical to? I guess you could say Dresden. I didn't say identical. Constantine's one of my favorite DC. He's in my top 5 favorite DC characters ever. It's my favorite thing about the Sandman, which I think is a beautiful art. Beautiful art. Some of it by the great Kelly Jones. Beautiful art. The most beautiful art. Beautiful art. Not my favorite story. A little too filled with pixies and fairy dust for me. I'm a Preacher guy. I'm a Hellblazer guy. Not really a Sandman guy. The last Boy Scout became a YouTube member. Hail. Sandman is it's a girl comic, and it brought a lot of girls in the comic shop, more than any comic I could think of. The only thing closest, X-Men sold to a lot of women. X-Men sold to a lot of women. But nothing, and I mean nothing, came close to Sandman. Trump trying to bring peace between those Middle East countries reminds me of a treaty tolerance scenes. Also, best speech from Rusty. Hail. Hail. Well, good luck with that, President. That is a battle that's been going on for thousands of years in one way or another. ARG, another name for $9.99. Antifa has the same relationship to actual fascism as antimatter does to matter. Exactly. In a vacuum, they are identical, but they explode if you mix them. Yep. Yeah. Well said. Well said. China has no wall, no immigration problems there. They have a wall. You're right. China has a wall, no immigration problems. They have a pretty fucking awesome wall. That's a pretty awesome wall. Hey, Gary. So Star Trek is dead, right? I almost wish that people speak about it and hate, but it's just forgotten now, thanks to that clown, Alex Kurtzman. Yeah. And we're getting more. We're getting fucking more, Flag Ninja. Last good Ridley Scott film, American Gangster. When did that come out? American Gangster. I mean, wouldn't you say it's The Martian? American Gangster's good. Unless you didn't like The Martian. It's all right. Lots of very high praise of the movie. I like it. I don't think it's the greatest thing ever made. But Joseph Marble for $5. Tron Ares is getting a release the same weekend as Battlefield 6. Do you think any guy under 35 is going to the theater that weekend? I don't think any guy under 35 was going to the theater to see Tron anyway. I mean, that is straight up a Gen X movie. You've got fucking Nine Inch Nails doing the soundtrack, and you've got and it's a Gen X property that was never super popular in the first place, and it's missing a key component, the Tron film. That would be Tron. Tron is missing from the Tron film. That doesn't stop people. Spartacus will not be in the Spartacus show. Best red carpet, I would say Rita Hayworth, Gary. I would agree. Amazon's defacement of Bond's posters is criminal. It is. It's a crime against the imagination. License to shill. License to misgender. How long until Amazon Bond online backlash is labeled MAGA backlash? Probably already happened. But it's so ridiculous. They can't do that. Make Bond fun again. Exactly, Joel. Make it fun. I don't want to see Bourne. I don't want to see sterile, static. Well, it's a very technically sound movie with great stunts. Like, I would even be concerned if Nolan directed a Bond movie of it being a little too sterile, but at least Nolan knows how to have fun. He does. Denis is very serious. And it's good when he's well, no, it's not good. Blade Runner 2049 is fucking trash. Trash. But yeah, he's very serious and like very competent, good director. He's done some very serious things. I don't want Bond to be serious. Edgar Wright for a Bond movie. It is yes. In his peak, yes. Sydney Sweeney is Moneypenny. That's got my vote. I want GoldenEye License to Kill era. That's good shit. Timothy Dalton as 007 Soros funder of Antifa. Barry Weiss takes over CBS News. Paramount buys her out. How much is heading to the how many are heading to the unemployment line, you think? Be curious who shakes loose. A lot. A lot of people are heading to the unemployment line from Paramount. Have you seen Department Q? I tried it on a whim and ended up loving it. It's the favorite show I've seen this year. I have not tried it. Thanks, kitten. I will check it out. Thank you for the recommendation. Snacks. The something of Boris. That's what we need. the quantum of solace. Axel Foley for $5 Australian. I think I have finished my book. Well, good for you. I'm having some friends read to give feedback. Any advice on steps after that? Reread it a lot. Take your friends' feedback. Listen to it. But yeah, go over your stuff a lot. And it's still not going to be enough. Steel foil hat for $20. Hail, Gary. I have recently got a 4K Blu-ray player and starting a physical media collection per your advice. Starting with Lord of the Rings books and discs. Any other recommendations for content before it gets taken away? So it's not going to be 4K, but I would definitely, like, if you like past South Park, get the Blu-rays of South Park. If you like shows that will easily be banned very soon, if not already, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, whatever Doctor Who you could find. But yeah, any movie that you also want to watch out who's Netflix doesn't make anything. Fox used to not do anything. They were terrible. But I would go for the stuff that you think might get banned. But Blazing Saddles has a 4K, and it depends on the transfers are always great. It's very rare to have a great transfer. And none of it's true 4K. None of it. I used to make those things. Not 4Ks, but I used to make Blu-rays. That was my job at Paramount. Not Paramount. I worked with Paramount through Technicolor. I worked at Technicolor, and I had we had the Paramount, HBO, and some Disney license. Some Disney. Hail, Gary, listening to you while delivering for Amazon packages 2 months in, and I made up my mind on quitting and working my other job. There you go. Hey, you got to make up your mind. But good luck delivering those packages. Hopefully the weather's good. Hollywood was promised to them 3,000 years ago, says Garfield's Bizarre Adventure. My last theater visits have been Anniversary, Jaws, Rocky Horror Picture Show. Weapons is the best of the year as far as new films go. I agree, Laron. My favorite TV show of the year is Mobland. My favorite movie of the year is Weapons. It's not even close. I would have a very hard time giving you a top 5 movies I've seen in theaters. And I've actually seen a lot of movies in theaters this year. I couldn't make a top 5. Could not. I could not. We Bury the Dead starring Daisy Ridley trailer out. Oh boy. What's this one about? We Bury the Dead? I hope so. Is it a Daisy Ridley? Hang on. Now I'm curious. Is it like it's not an action movie, is it? We Bury the Dead. Is it let me see. Is it like a zombie?
Yeah, it's a zombie film.
It's a zombie
It had
movie.
a limited release in Australia and New Zealand.
Oh, yeah.
In 3 days. And then in America next year, January 2nd.
Daisy Ridley action star. It looks fine. I'm not gonna see it. Y'all have a serious mental health crisis over there. To be honest, it ain't great where I'm from, but the difference is heaven and earth. What's an RSD? What's an RSD? So I know where you're from. Serbia. Serbian pesos, 300. Yeah, we do. We do. We absolutely do. Undeniable. Dresden is better than Constantine. Book of Grudges. I'm not going to argue with that. Like they're both great characters. I love those characters. Mr. Christmas for $6.99 says, if he had lived into the 2010s, which comic book role do you think John? What a big here. Let me see. I forgot he died in 78. John Cazale. What did he die of? Cazale was diagnosed with lung cancer in 1977, likely related to his history of chain smoking. Despite trying a number of treatments and protocols, his rapid decline of cancer. What comic book character could he play? That's a really bizarre, Mr. Christmas. That's a weird request. I'm going to say that. What comic book character would John Cazale, if I'm getting his last name right, from Godfather, Fredo from Godfather, what comic book character would he be good as? It'd have to be some kind of a reporter, right? Ain't gonna be a superhero. The leader, that's pretty good. Scarecrow. Okay. The leader's a good one too. The Question, no, he couldn't be the Question. Question's a badass. I was thinking like Ben Ulrich or something. But I like the leader. Riddler, Scarecrow, scrawny villain. Yeah. Not bad. Chat for the win. All the time. All the fucking time. We appreciate weird questions here, by the way. Keep them coming. Who would you like to be cast as James Bond? I'm going to be really basic bitch and say Henry Cavill. But Aaron Taylor Johnson would be fine. I think a lot of the people I've seen put up, I don't have a problem with, as long as it's oh my God, why am I blanking on his name now? Gosh damn it. It is, yeah. Tom Hopper wouldn't be bad. Aaron Taylor Johnson wouldn't be bad. He has to be British. He has to be white. James Bond is a straight white British dude. Straight white British. Mahler. Mahler. And Generations sucks because of three simple reasons: the needless death of Picard's nephew, the disrespectful death of Kirk, and not giving Kirk a proper funeral and leaving him on a no-name isolated planet. Yeah, everything about that is John Wayne for $10. It's an abomination. It's a fucking abomination. That's why oh, what was that? Oh my God, I'm blanking on the movie now. Unification. 765874 Unification was beautiful because Spock goes to his gravesite. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's a good goodbye to Trek. It's amazing. It's amazing. But it should have never fucking happened, John, and you know that. That's why I'm fully down with the William Shatner written The Return. They're gonna ruin Bond, aren't they? Henry Cavill is right there. He's tall, handsome, strong. Are they really addicted to the message? Yes. They know nothing else because they think they're right. Watch Slow Horses, Gary Oldman channeling Ryan Kindle. I gotta watch it because Gary Oldman's my favorite actor. Thank you, Jim Watery, for $20, and thank you, Notrom, for 300 Serbian pesos. There was a time when strong female character meant interesting female character, not girl boss. There was, and I wish we'd get back to that, but it's become such a trope now to where even when they don't do, that was the whole point of, I did 2 videos on this, the Furiosa review, and then right after the ballerina came out, which is essentially it was history repeating itself right around the same time, just a year apart. It was two films that did not have girl bosses in them. They weren't girl bosses. They were just female action characters trying to surviving on their resourcefulness and not being like more powerful than men. like normal stuff, right? Those were two movies that nobody wanted to see. But they still managed to not have an annoying girl boss in them, and they flopped because just the very thought, people are just entirely turned off of by now. So Hollywood has a lot of work to do, a lot of heavy lifting to do to bring back authenticity to the female character, to the female, and also come to the realization that nobody wants to see action grandmas. Nobody wants to see action models unless it's going to be unless they have superpowers. It's really easy to explain. Do it with superpowers. Pretty fucking easy. How does Buffy work? She has superpowers. Explained. Okay. I see Harcourt fucking taking out a bunch of dudes twice her size. All they would have to explain it at Argus, they fucking injected her with some super juice. But no, because that would be taking away our agency. We have just regular old 5'4", 5'5", 110-pound blonde woman in her 40s, kicking the shit out of dudes twice her size. Impossible. I don't care how well her training is. Those dudes are trained too. And also all the training in the fucking world cannot fight size. Like I've seen smaller dudes, they can fight. And they can be badass. But there's a point where it just gets ridiculous. And they have a chance against like bigger dudes. But then when you get like 300 pounds, 6'6" dude, you don't have a fucking chance. Not a chance. And that guy knows how to fight, you're fucked. You are fucked. Every time. It's a very short fight. Yeah, they have a lot of work to do to bring back respect to the female character. And I would just, you got to start somewhere. But right now, people would just have aversion to it, especially in genre right now. Just keep it out. Why can't the media shut the fuck up about the jabs? 99% of society is fucking over it. Coof. It's bigger dead horse than J6 and Gaza combined. Holy fucking tiring. Yeah, Hollywood really wants to blame that they haven't recovered from COVID. And I argue that they haven't recovered from the strikes. But some might argue Gaza's not a dead horse. I'm America first, baby. Stargate is a great series. Would recommend, says Matthew. Listen to Matthew on that one. In Dreamland, Daisy would be perfect for Alien ISO. There you go. Maybe. Daisy seems like a nice person. Like, I got nothing against her. She's not an action star. Steve McKinley, thank you for the $2. The guy that played the king in Tudors would slay as Bond. Who played the king in Tudors? He'd be all right. Yeah. I wouldn't be against it. It'd be better than Ncuti Gatwa. Specifically the film version of Constantine. Okay. Specifically the film version. I don't remember. At your recommendation, my wife and I watched both Tulsa King and Landman. Best shows we've seen. Taylor Sheridan is hands down the best modern writer. Tulsa King is a good, solid show. It's not going to reinvent the wheel. We were doing some headcanon. So we're saying basically it's got Sam Flynn from Tron. So apparently after Tron Ares, Sam Flynn failed and is gone. So Sam Flynn failed and then got into financial trouble and had to turn state's evidence and had to go into witness protection. So he went out to Tulsa and changed his name to Mitch. And then Guilfoyle from Silicon Valley, Martin Starr, he got into some trouble, probably due to his lack of citizenship, overstaying his visa. So he had to change his name and move to Tulsa, and start a weed store. That's our headcanon for Tulsa King, because it's got Sam Flynn and Guilfoyle from Silicon Valley. It's like a good normal show. Fish out of water. Stallone playing a New York gangster, kind of taking over Tulsa. It's fun. Landman's on a different level, and I can't tell you why. Landman is a dude soap opera with drug deals gone bad, really based lines of dialogue and based situations that are pretty fucking good, and is very pragmatic about the world. So it really moves away from Hollywood's idealism. And Billy Bob Thornton is just this pragmatic dude who's like stomping through going, listen, I'm not saying the oil's best thing in the world, but it's what we got. And we don't have an alternative right now. So quit your bitching. We got work to do. It's that kind of shit that I really enjoy about it. Plus, Billy Bob Thornton is fucking great in it. He's great. So that show has no business being as good as it is. Landman is like upper tier show. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Season 2 trailer just dropped. It'll be out November 16th. Landman highest recommendation. Highest recommendation. Sweet. All right. We're going to go. Give me just a mo. Get some squaring up done. Hope everybody's having a great day. Oh, hang on a second. X-Ray Girl, read a couple super chats. I have to watch this real quick. Somebody sent me something.
Okay.
Just started.
Let's see here. There were a few that were missed earlier. Eddie Brock for €249 says Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Holland promoting non-alcoholic beer together. I heard that. I saw the video. It's really cute. Kangarooster for 5 says it's a Monday for me. Just got selected for jury duty on a criminal case. Oh my gosh. Oh. Good luck. I've never had that done yet, but I know that's gonna come at some point. Greedy Graffiti for $4.99 says perhaps perplexity is problematic to pronounce because the pronunciation is particularly perplex. I really wish Gary had that. That's a lot of P's. I like a good alliteration.
Hang on, I'll find it. Alliteration. I can't even say alliteration. Somebody sent me a clip. I gotta play it later. Oh shit.
Okay.
Oh shit. Shots fired at me. It's good. It is good. Well, it could be somebody else. But so what was that one that you just read? Is it on FNT?
Do you want to read the alliteration? Okay, let's see if you can do it.
Who's it from?
Greedy Graffiti.
Where's that?
It's down there now.
Oh, okay.
The super chat.
Down where?
Oh, on the screen.
Oh, it's on the screen. Oh, sorry. I was looking at you. Greedy Graffiti for $4.99. Perhaps perplexity is problematic to pronounce because the pronunciation is particularly perplex.
He did good.
I did good. 5 out of 10 on that one. 5 out of 10. All right. I got to show this without showing my, because somebody I don't want that person to get outed who DM'd me, but let's see if I can do it. There we go. This is so funny. Oh, yeah. Chris Stuckmann's got a movie coming out, guys. and somebody's interviewing him, like why you want to become a filmmaker, and that's great. That's great that he. I think Flanagan had something to do with the movie, and I hope it does well. I honestly, the only time I've ever given the guy shit is his fucking thumbnails. are his thumbnails. He has the worst fucking thumbnails. So that's what makes this funnier. Some people think I have the worst thumbnails. Well, stop the Asian hate. Okay, because Perry makes my thumbnails. Flanagan executive produced. I wish his movie nothing but the best. Okay, it's an independent film. I don't really cover independent film, but he said this. Make sure the volume's up on this. And thanks to the person who sent it. Thank you.
I don't want to be 65 years old and being like, this movie was a piece of shit. Ah! And then have some horribly cringe thumbnail. I don't want to.
For one, Stuckmann calling somebody out for a fucking cringe thumbnail. Let me find one for you. Let me find one for you. I got one in mind. I've got one. For one, I hope I am lucky enough to be 65 years old and I could be completely honest about it to you if a movie is a piece of shit. Not yet. I mean, reverse those numbers. I'm 56. But I hope I am lucky enough and have the mindset enough to continue doing YouTube and being honest about movies. So if a movie comes out and it's a piece of shit, I will tell you it's a piece of shit. If a movie's great, I will tell you it's great. I will not come out and go, I'm not going to criticize movies anymore because now I'm a filmmaker or now I'm a creator. I am just a dude in my spare bedroom with my plastic pals, chatting with a bunch of friends and giving you my opinions. And I don't have to form my opinions or frame them. They are my opinions. No, I actually do not like The Acolyte. I'm not secretly buying the Steelbook 4K and watching it on loop. No, I actually don't like Ahsoka. No, I don't like Joker 2. I thought it was a giant piece of shit. But I did like Weapons. I do like Better Man. There's movies I love. But let's find this. Let's go. Stuckmann. His fucking thumbnails are so retarded. Here, let's do this one. This is the one that I sent it to Mahler. It just got me laughing my ass off. All right. Don't be throwing stones in the thumbnail glass house, bro. Now it's a different spelling, guys, but I think plain really does describe it all, don't you? Absolutely plain. Here's some of his newer ones. Maybe I could just go. Or I think this is how humans smile. I hope I'm 65 years old and reviewing movies and have retained my personality. Hilarious. Thanks, brother. All right, let's get to FNT. Remember when they said about the Trump assassination attempt? Like Gary said, this has been happening for years. Yes, the divisiveness in Hollywood has been happening for years, and in all of entertainment. And it's been building up. It's been building up, and it dehumanizes people, and it makes it okay to kill people. And then people will dance on, people will celebrate the killer and dance on people's graves. It's inhuman behavior. But they are the tolerant left. Kindness is the new punk rock, everybody. I don't care if we lose some racist fans, says James Gunn, the man who said kindness is the new punk rock. Lunar Star for $4.99. It's amazing y'all don't see Hollywood equals Mossad. Long game, fiery. Maybe you're on the payroll. Is that what they want? Read the Talmud. I am on, well, I'm on nobody's payroll. Well, I'm on my own. I'm on my own payroll because I have an LLC. So I'm technically, my boss is a fucking asshole. That would be me. RD for £5 British. Posting RIP Charlie is calling out the consequences of labeling people Nazis. Got me shamed for having empathy for a fascist. Irony lost. George Make Toast for $2 says, but January 6th, though. Yeah. The Book of Grudges for $4.99 says, wait, the other world in Peacemaker is all, wait.
People.
Yes. And it's a better world. Do they realize what they're saying about
people?
I don't think James Gunn thought about it that much, that the utopia was all clean neighborhoods. Crime is pretty much dealt with. Oh, and then they said that the world that Superman's in is not much different. So you just undercut your own world, your own fictitious world, by saying it's not that different from the Nazi world. So Superman, not very effective, I'm guessing. Not very effective. The Book of Grudges for $4.99. Wait, the other world in Peacemaker is, oh wait, that one's gone. X-Ray Girl. There's a song called It's Okay to Punch Nazis by Cheap Perfume. It's bullshit like this that these left losers are listening to and glorifying. Well, it's also this talk that there's Nazis out there. Where are the fucking Nazis? What Nazis? You know what there's a lot more of? There's another authoritarian, because Nazis are bad. Everybody agrees Nazis bad. Nazis bad. I like it when Indiana Jones kicks their ass. It's fun. It's fun to watch. But the constant narrative that there's a bunch of them out there right now, when there's an actual authoritarian ideology known as communism and Marxism out there that's prevalent, that has very violent people currently right now as we speak who support this like a religion out there, harming people. Troop Captain for 20 says, Charlie Kirk was my hero. He didn't just red pill me. He got me to be more confident in myself. He visited my church regularly. Rest in peace, Charlie. I'll always remember you. All right, we're going to go 19th. Zodlander. This is 3 parts, right? 3 parts. The Nostromo crew was smarter than the scientist on the science team. Smart enough to use their fucking masks, not eat food in the lab, and do their best to secure the contamination of a hazardous species. You are correct. How does Boy Cavalier and the Saboteur communicate in real time with a spaceship far out in space on a 65-year-old mission when Cavalier was born decades after the mission was already launched? Very good question. One that is not answered. in this very high-minded science fiction show. They put unstable children's minds into motionless android bodies that are super strength and not even include safeguards such as the 3 laws of robotics or a version of RoboCop's Directive 4. Very, very good points, Zodlander, that none of them were dealt with at all, like in the least bit. Not even a little bit did they talk about that. And that's sci-fi 101. And I'm a big dummy. I've been kicked out of 3 high schools, but I'm watching this with a smart person. Let's give credit. I'm watching all these episodes with Mahler. And the first thing we're saying is, okay, you put a 12-year-old. All right. So in the beginning, we're like, are you going to do something with their maturity? Like, you can control their emotions. They said specifically, we can control their emotions. And they dialed them down. So the catch-22, which is an interesting concept, is we can create immortality. We take these terminally ill children who are hours, days away from death and put them in robot bodies. A, are they copies or are they alive? That's the first question. B, do we manipulate their emotions, manipulate their thoughts so they won't be so dangerous in these super powerful robot bodies when you have children, 12-year-old children? And if any of you have had 12-year-old children, now, thankfully, I haven't had any girls. I've had 2 boys, so it wasn't so bad. But I've had a lot of friends who are fathers of daughters. And, well, let's just say boys and girls go through their problems, especially in puberty. You might want to have a fail-safe. You might want to have some rules. And then explore the moral and ethical dilemmas this whole thing creates, as opposed to we have now created immortality. And they really bring up a great point that they just push aside. Excuse me. The science woman, I believe it's a science woman, asks in the first 2 episodes, she goes, I can't remember who it was, but somebody brings up, so you have a consumer for life. And I'm like, wow, that is a great motivation. It's like we created immortality, but we have somebody who's going to buy something. We have somebody who's loyal to a brand for life. Now, imagine that, times it by 1 billion. That's great motivation. That's excellent motivation for that. Nope, Boy Cavalier goes, nope, I'm just creating these robots so I can have somebody to talk to because I'm smarter than everybody. And they just don't bring it up again. Yeah, it's such a dumb show. Matthew Hammond for $3. Matt Stone and Trey Parker were probably getting pushback from their wives who had to hear how South Park got Trump elected at their yoga studio or Pilates studio, country club, and dinner parties. It's kind of feeling that way. It really is. South Park didn't get Trump elected. If they had that kind of power, then they would have gotten Kathleen Kennedy fired. They probably peaked with Team America. Some of their specials were really fucking good. But I completely agree with the sentiment that it felt like the right was really kind of championing South Park because they weren't being PC, because they were breaking narratives and they weren't being politically correct. And I think South Park was a little too worried about being identified with that side. We see this happen. Red Letter Media, man, channel I love. But if anybody even starts to think they're moving a little bit to the right as far as their views on things, man, do they freak out. Do they fucking freak out? And it depends on where you are in the movie sphere, because this isn't, it's not one big sphere. It's a sphere with lots of subgenres, right? you know, Chris and Alan are getting we're getting a lot of shit for their one woke after another review. And I'm like, I ain't getting any. Like none for mine. Like zero. You know, that's just the way things are. Just the way things are. But yes, I think South Park didn't go after Kabbalah. How has Ryan put it with the boys? They go after one side with a thermonuclear bomb, and they go after the other side with a water pistol. That's what they're starting to do. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. Demon Slayer passes 400 million worldwide now, 600 million on a $20 million budget. Keep in mind, one needs to watch the 4 seasons of the show just to lead up to this. And it's only part 1 of 3 of their final trilogy. People see quality. Watch it, Gary. Traditional, earnest storytelling. Hail. Hail, John Gets Gaming. Zodlander, 2 parts here. Jimmy being suspended for saying false things, I think is fine. He needs to retract what he said and admit it was false. But I think we need to be careful so long that we don't go too far with the McCarthyism. McCarthy actually didn't handle the Hollywood side of thing. That gets talked about a lot. He handled the broader thing, but he didn't handle the specific Hollywood thing. Call them out and debate them like Charlie Kirk did. People have gotten too sensitive to what they call hate speech. They need to grow a pair and learn what fascism actually is. Hassan Piker needs to be banned for what he said. Jimmy needs to be canceled for low views. Yeah, Jimmy should be canceled for being shitty at his job. I do have a serious problem with our government going in and telling private companies what they can do. That is, I feel that way for everything, because believe me, if the FCC chair for Trump will do it, then the FCC chair for the next Democratic president will do it, and there will be one someday. And it's also ignoring what the Biden administration, which we talked about earlier in the stream, already did. So it's being done on both sides, and I'm against it completely. If a company decides to suspend the guy for bad timing or a bad joke, and they bring him back, they fine him, whatever, I have no problem with that. And I'm not, like, I have no sympathy for Jimmy Kimmel. None. I could have on principle, I don't like the government messing with somebody and telling him to being fired, but Jimmy Kimmel being taken off the air and suspended, I have no sympathy. Nor would I expect anybody to have sympathy if I get pulled off for something I say or do. Not under any delusions. But he's back. He's back. And he's not even fired like Colbert, who gets to write out his contract. It's a really weird form of fascism if somebody just gets suspended and comes back, and then somebody's allowed to write out their contract when by all means they probably should have been fired and just taken off the air immediately. Kimmel was never funny for $10 says there will be a Democracy 360 event coming this October 15th and to 17th in Charlottesville, Virginia. Anyway, Stephen Bonnell called for the killing of conservatives before Kirk was murdered. So that makes Stephen Bonnell not evil, being scapegoat. Bring back the scapegoat. Matthew Hammond for $5. Jimmy Kimmel is never coming back. Sinclair, who owns ABC affiliates, he came back though. Owns ABC affiliates, 3 demands before they air a show: a direct apology for Kimmel to Kirk's family, a meaningful donation to Kirk's family. None of that happened. Disney put themselves in a bind by hiring a bunch of fucking activists, and they are now a prisoner to their employees. A prisoner to their employees. Okay, we're going to October 3rd. Super Suit for 20 says, did any of you guys see the DHS government post on Twitter titled "The Future is Bright"? Pretty based also to the leftists trying to co-opt Tolkien. He hated hippies, the USSR, and supported Franco in the Spanish Civil War. Take care. He's also very Catholic and identified himself as an anarchist later in life. As far as it's a little more detailed than that. We'll leave that to the scholars. But James Gunn reminds me of Vivzy Pop, the has-been hotel creator, both immature, trying to make their series mature by showering it in sex, violence, and language with no substance. Yes. Well, it's very trauma. So he's from the trauma school, and it's very trauma, but trauma is not traditional anything. Naive a-hole for $1 says, what weed won Taylor Sheridan to make a live action Red Dead Redemption 2? NFL halftime show should be mascots versus Pee Wee football. I like the NFL halftime show of the chicks in their G-strings. What was that? I can't remember that was. Can't remember what halftime show that was. The NFL is gay. I don't watch the NFL anymore. I kind of pay attention for my son who's a Charger fan, but the NFL is extremely gay and nigh unwatchable. The play is so much worse than it used to be even 10 years ago. Yeah, the lingerie bowl. Thank you. The lingerie bowl. But yeah, I saw High King Feanor like, I'm never watching football again. My Bills lost. They had a bad loss. And I say to you, quit watching football. You get your Sundays free. You know, but I'll say this to the Bills fans who are crying right now. Your team's still in Buffalo. Last time I checked, your team's still in Buffalo. Quit your bitching. Quit your bitching. But the NFL so freaking end racism at the end of the end zone. It is so gay right now. It's unwatchable. I like having my Sundays free. So I'd say just skip the Super Bowl altogether. Yeah, all sports ball is getting pretty gay. Even baseball. Even baseball. Coffee's good. No, I absolutely adore not having, because season ticket holder for the Chargers. My dad was a season ticket holder, and then I took over for him, but I like lifelong. I pretty much, other than when I was in prison, went to almost every Charger game from 1975 up. Very few that I missed. Very few. All the way up to 2017. And I would drive down from San Francisco to San Diego to watch the games. So kind of a hardcore Charger fan. My dad's tickets had 1960 priority because he purchased them when they originally were in LA. So we had access that normal, you had to pay extra for season tickets. So you have your inaugural season ticket. You had the 60 priority. So we got special parking spots, and we got to go to hang out with, I remember having a lunch with Jim Harbaugh when he was quarterback of the Chargers, got to meet Dan Fouts, Kellen Woods, all that stuff. So I was just to point out that I was a big fan, a San Diego Charger fan. The minute they left, done. They offered us tickets for that Carson monstrosity soccer field. I said, fuck no, fuck you. You're done. That was my last connection, my dad. But so when the Chargers would lose, which was a lot, my fucking day would be ruined. And I don't miss that at all. I don't want the outcome of my day being ruled by a sports team. So, hi, King Feanor. I'll just say, you know who doesn't lose? You know who never loses? Tolkien. Never loses. Just post about Tolkien. Make content about Tolkien. Read some Tolkien. Never loses. He never loses. 21 Palika has gifted 2 Nerdrotic memberships. Cindy Downs has gifted 1. Thank you, Cindy. Jesus Davila has gifted 1. Thank you, Jesus. Louis C says SawCon. S-A-Con. Maybe. Emma Watson is the exact outcome of JK's feminism. Kinda is. I mean, I JK has realized this though. So that's the one thing, is the thing that she specifically voted for ushered in this era. Now we cannot discount the conservatives in the Tories in the UK. What Sargon's the guy to talk to about this stuff. He's the expert. And that's definitely who I listen to on this subject. But Tories, fucking Labor, it all sounds like uniparty shit to me, like we have over here. Probably, a little more class structured over there, which I don't fully understand because I'm American. But the Tories have, they played that game too. They played the pronoun and we don't want to misgender. They played all that shit. So they played their part too. But the things J.K. Rowling voted for and financially supported ushered in the era that she is now fighting. That is a fact. And she is starting to understand it now. The most recent statement politically I saw from her, which I do believe is a couple years old or a year and a half old, was, I'm finding it very hard to vote for Labor now. And then, the latest one I saw was, she was talking about Reform Party, and she brought up a couple of names that I can't think of right now, but she's like, the Labor has done more damage to themselves than anybody in Reform could ever dream of in 100 years. It's like, now you're getting it. The Democrat Party has done more damage to itself than anybody on the Republican side could ever fucking dream of in the last 100 years. You're losing Bill Maher. Bill Maher's still over there, but you're losing him. You can see it. You're losing him. Now, does Bill Maher go where the wind blows? Yes. But you lost Joe Rogan. Die in the wool. He's not from there, but he lived in LA for a long time. LA liberal. You lost him. So yeah, J.K. Rowling did that. She brought it on herself. You're right. But if you realize that, you go, oh, okay, I fucked up. That's fine. Wigden Briones for $4.99. Hey, Gary, started to like Dr. Doom more as a character. Never was a fan of the Fantastic Four. Any comic recommendations? I read Secret Wars 84 and 2015. Oh, Doom. Well, you need to read Stanley and Jack Kirby's Doom, Dr. Doom. You need to read his development through the Fantastic Four, through reprints or whatever you need to reprint. I do believe there is a very good, I can't remember, Books of Doom. Oh, Doom. It came out. Yeah, Brubaker. That's right. It was Brubaker. Books of Doom. Get Books of Doom. There's a trade paperback. It's good shit. Brubaker's the man. That guy's a fucking great writer. Great writer. He used to go to my friend's shop, James Sim. I think it was still called Comic Kazi. I can't remember what his old name was. But he turned it into Isotope. And Ed Brubaker would arm wrestle. You go there and arm wrestle Brubaker, and then he'd sign your book. Bird Gang for $5. Go Phils. Screw the Dodgers. Fuck the Dodgers. Fuck the Dodgers. Ryan's Cubs got curb stomped by the fucking Brewers. Woo! The other day. I don't know about you. Was that yesterday? Might have been yesterday. The Bright movie is basically the Shadowrun game. Almost every concept in it lines up. Hey, it's great. Whatever it is, Rottweiler AK, I love that movie. Unapologetically, unconditionally love Bright. Thank you for the $20. Tundra Cat for $9.99. Gary, what are your thoughts on the sci-fi show Andromeda from the 2000s with Kevin Sorbo? I know it had a lot of problems, but I liked a lot of concepts in it. Yeah, that was Roddenberry. It's all right. That was a long time. I've slept since then. TWF for $40 Australian. Gary, we don't call the language of Asians trying to speak English Asian. We call it Chinglish. Get it right. Also, since it's October, what's everyone's favorite horror movie? I think we did answer that one in the show. My number one is The Thing. Very close second is The Exorcist. Ben Caravubius for $10 says, if the Royals love your comedy, that makes you the court jester. That's true. Is it okay to use an empty Keurig to get hot water for tea? Because that's how I do it. I don't think that's bad. It's just, you're just heating up water. Tundra Cat for $4.99. Apparently the average American accent is closer to English of the 1600s than modern English people. So, really? What did English people sound like in the 1600s? Zach for $10. Hail. I don't know if any of you have heard any news on the Super Stargate. Why did I say super? That's fucking gay. The new Stargate reboot that MGM keeps saying it's producing. If you have idea, I'd love to hear about it. I'd say run as fast as you can from any reboot that involves Amazon, or fucking run. I feel the same way. I'm sure they feel the same way as I feel about like Ryan Coogler doing the fucking X-Files. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Oh, we got a Predator Badlands trailer. We'll hit that on the way out. Hail, wish my husband Peyton a happy 37th birthday. Peyton, happy 37. Still young. Haven't quite hit midlife crisis yet. You'll be okay. And midlife crisis sucks, dude. I'm so glad I'm past that. And it's real. It's real. It hits everybody. You know, it ranges in age. It's usually in the 40s. Timothy Dalton is the most accurate Bond and best in my opinion. And the books, you're right. Super underrated and overlooked. Still love Connery and Brosnan. Roger Moore is fun. Yep. Timothy Dalton is probably more book accurate, even though the movies he did were based on newer books. Now, I didn't hate those books. I like License to Kill. I do. Remember buying it. Southeastern Kaiju for $5. Don't blame your Build-A-Bear Charlie Kirk. They won't make it. But George Floyd? Yeah. You funded me in 9/11. Two things I never forget. Ministry of Wrong Thing for $4.99. That reminds me. I promised to show this. Let's see if I can find it. Is it in bookmarks? Yeah. This is terrible. This is fucking terrible. So I was talking about this on my Tulsa King. Because like Sylvester Stallone is starting to sound like Kyle Dunnigan's impression. Previously on Tulsa King. I'm like a fish out of water. And I'm a gangster going against a moonshiner. So stuff like that. So Kyle Dunnigan and Kurt Metzger put this short up. If you're not familiar with Kyle Dunnigan, he's been on Kill Tony multiple times. He's probably one of the best impressionists out there. And he does a face app thing with Stallone. That's fucking great. Now, viewer discretion advised. This is not politically correct. So welcome to my show. This is fucking terrible. Here we go. Hang on, I gotta make sure my volume's all the way up. It is. Here we go. Follow Kyle Dunnigan, subscribe to his channel. Follow Kurt Metzger, is a good friend of mine. He's on Jimmy Dore as well. Here we go.
I made a documentary. It's a serious documentary all by Stallone's self. Okay? I consulted no one.
September 11, 2001. The sun was shining. People were hustling and also bustling. They had no idea that September 11th would be the day they got 9/11. The day we got 9/11.
What are you laughing at? This is very serious.
I am
subject
crying.
matter.
American Flight 11 entered New York City airspace, and 9/11 the first tower. But moments later, like an hour, the second tower was also 9/11. The next building victim was the Pentagon.
They just got the Pentagon. It's official, sir. We're getting 9/11. I said sure. They just got the Pentagon. It's official, sir. We're getting 9/11.
All that's left now is an upside-down water fountain and the names of the fallen at the 9/11 memorial. You know?
What is your problem? That is a very strange.
The day we got 9/11. Oh my God. It is wrong and touching. We folks, we just gotta laugh. We do. Holy shit. I love Kyle Dunnigan. He got 9/11. All right, let's look at this trailer, shall we? Predator Badlands. Final trailer. Are you excited, X-Ray Girl? X-Ray Girl, have you seen all the Predator movies? I'm going to take that.
I think the first one.
Okay, you can't answer. You can't answer that with "I think."
Just the first one with
It's yes or no.
Yes.
It's a yes
the
or
first
no.
one.
Have you seen all the Predator movies? There's a bunch.
No.
Of them. Okay, that's fine. That's a good enough answer. So you've seen the first one with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's good. That's a all-time classic. So that's good. I would say watch the second one's good. The
Okay.
second one is a solid movie. Adds to the lore. Danny Glover's good. I think chat will agree with me. There's only 2 Predator movies. Predator 2 was one of them. But nothing will achieve the greatness of the original.
Yeah.
Of the original. So here we go. This is from Trachtenberg. So he did Prey. A bunch of people love Prey. Prey sucked. Prey was girl boss bullshit. I'll say it. And it had I like the lead actress in it. She was in Legion. There's a couple of scenes that I liked in Prey, like the bear. I thought that was really cool. There's a couple things I liked. And it could certainly work if you had it against Native Americans, but it was like a squaw who you can't call a squaw, who said she couldn't go out and hunt, so they're gonna hunt because all the squaws went out and hunted all the time. In the Stone Age culture, that was yes, Stone Age. Yes, they had some metallurgy, but they were basically a Stone Age culture of the Native Americans who were constantly killing each other. By the way, last to give up their slaves in America. And fucking A, put Redskins back on it. Another reason the NFL is gay. The Washington Commanders. What the fuck is that shit? But I digress. But the Dark Horse comics always put the Predators in like some insanely cool situation, and that's all you have to do. This one, it doesn't look as bad as Prey, except the Predator itself looks terrible. I think it just visually looks terrible. So let's see if this is a better trailer. Because I'd love to have John McTiernan does rule, chat. You're right there. Right there. John McTiernan, underrated director. So my fan casting for a Batman movie before Keaton and Burton were brought on. This is going to make a lot of people laugh. Okay. So my fan casting when I was a young nerd, pretty high on drugs, but my friends, we discussed fan casting even back then. And this was in 88, right after Beetlejuice. And I'm like, I think Alec Baldwin should be Batman and it should be directed by John McTiernan. That was my fan casting. That was my fan casting. I think I got like half of that right. Don't you think, Dickie? All right, here we go. It's not far off. God, I don't like the look of that. I know he's supposed to be young. I don't want to. The Predator is not the protagonist. The Predator is the antagonist. The Xenomorph is not a fucking pet. Yeah, it looks kind of like a pig. No, it's a dude. It's a dude. But he's going to be bossed around by Dakota Fanning. I don't know if she's a synth from Weyland-Yutani. I mean, like Disney owns it all, so they can definitely just like start throwing Weyland-Yutani stuff in with Yeah, I'm not a fan of this look.
Welcome to the most dangerous planet in the universe, where everything is trying to kill you.
I mean, that was kind of Earth. That was Earth 65 million years ago.
I need a hand.
Why don't we just do Predator? Well, they did. Predator versus dinosaurs. They did. So she's half a robot.
You're here to prove yourself. Hunting something that can't be killed.
I'm glad she's having this conversation, this one-way conversation that's also describing the movie. And what do you want to bet this fucking conversation's actually in the fucking movie and they're not just voicing this for the trailer? And this is like the worst part of exposition. Again, maybe this is just for the trailer, so I want to be fair. But if this is a conversation where she's half of her sitting down and she's all like, you're on the most dangerous planet in the world and you're here to earn your right as a predator. And it's like, you don't think he fucking knows all this shit? AVP Yeah, this is definitely going to show. You're right. This is definitely going to be a conversation in the movie. And she's going to be telling him everything he already fucking knows. You know what show this happened a lot in? Alien Earth. I'm going to sit down and very seriously tell you everything you already know for the audience. Okay? We good with this? I'm going to break down every situation that you were all a part of the original meetings. You already know you're going to be a 12-year-old put into a robot body, but I'm going to tell you like it's the first time you're hearing it. The CGI does look good. Okay? I'm giving it credit. I think the CGI looks fine. I like the concept of a president going down to the most dangerous planet and then having to fight his way off. That's a movie right there. Hollywood, I just gave you an idea. Like George Washington versus dinosaurs. Let's fucking go. But no, I conceptually I'm fine with it. I just don't like the look of the Predator. That's a pretty good shot. I'm going to say well done on this. Well done on this. The ultimate predator.
Might not be alone in this hunt.
Robots. That's kind of a cool creature. Hang on, let me see that again. Oh, I don't want him talking. Why? Is it Elle Fanning or Dakota? I can't. Is it Elle Fanning? It's one of the Fannings. They're actually kind of cool. They're some of the people who have said some of the more reasonable things in the past. Better trailer than the last one. Still don't like the look at all of the Predator. CG looks pretty good. Like the creature design. Can we get a good movie this year? Can we get a good movie this year? Dakota was in Twilight. Was Dakota in Twilight? I watched Twilight. I'm standing because she was in Twilight. You guessed it, dude. Alex, guilty as charged, buddy. I'm a big Twilight stan. Yeah, I don't like humanizing a fucking predator. I don't want to know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's saying. I think it would be better if the robot was just doing all the talking and that thing wasn't communicating at all and they didn't know how to communicate. See, what makes the Predator, I'm going to state the obvious for you out there that you're obviously smarter than me collectively for sure. Already know, but there might be somebody in Hollywood listening. So this isn't really directed at you, chat, because I don't think you're a bunch of children. What makes the xenomorph and the Predator special? What makes them special? What makes them unique? What makes them more engaging? The fact that we don't know that much about them. Mystery. Our minds fill in the blanks of these two mysterious, formidable creatures. One from a planet that we can just fill in is so sophisticated now, but they still send out hunters to hunt everything in the universe for fun. For fun. And it took an 80s action movie, your basic 80s action movie, turned into a sci-fi movie where all these 80s action stars were turned into the prey. It was really flipping something on its head. It was really like groundbreaking and innovative for its time, and it fucking kicked ass. The Xenomorph. I don't want to know. I don't want to know anything. I don't want to know their language. I don't want to know their origin. Ridley Scott already ruined that, but the Xenomorph just being this thing that nature designed to kill perfectly was enough for me. R.I.P. Carl Weathers, by the way. Absolute legend. You are missed. Now predators hunt autism and yeah, the Xenomorphs don't have language. Apparently they do now. Okay. Apparently they do now, according to Alien Earth. I heard somebody say, maybe it was even Disparu who mentioned it, that Noah Hawley is saying that Alien Earth is not connected to the alien canon whatsoever. Fuck off. That's all I've got to say to that is fuck off. But as far as I'm gonna try to be objective, the trailer is better than the last one. I like some of the creature designs. Do I have high hopes for this movie? No, I do not. Will I see it and review it? Absolutely. I actually, Tron was the one I had high hopes for. Very early days. I Am a Sweet Summer Child. I want there to be. Can we get one good movie this year? It's not going to be Avatar. Fire and ass. God, is Wicked going to be the only good movie? I mean, Jeremy and Ryan are going to go there hand in hand and sing all the songs and do a little twist dance in the parking lot and give their out of theater reactions with like glow sticks. And yeah, like I don't know why I just gave you that visual. I'm sorry. But Frankenstein. I think Frankenstein could be my favorite movie of the year. That's got potential. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Wicked. Like I said in my review, I can acknowledge that it was a very well directed, put together film by people who knew what they were doing, creating a story that I watched I went with my wife, saw the play. The women were hot, so I was paying attention because the women were hot. The women weren't hot in the movie. One was a skeleton and one was Nosferatu. So I had no reason to. I can acknowledge it was a well put together movie that I hated every fucking nanosecond of. I don't like music. There's a couple musicals I like, but that's it. And I don't like that type of music, that Disney, Broadway, show tunes, gay music. Not a fan. Not a fan of pop music either. I got nothing against Taylor Swift. I don't care what her stupid politics are. She's a bimbo. Yeah, sure. She sold out country music to become a pop star, and she just used country music. So many people do. And sure, she's, a couple of minutes away from the wall. So get what you can. Katy Perry's your future, and there'll be somebody to replace you. There's always some pop star that people just go like fucking hysterical for every generation, right? She's the one. Great, whatever. Has all the top tens. I think I know one of her songs, like "Shake It Off." Shake it off. But yeah, I don't like any of that music. I don't. Ryan, big fan. Loves them show tunes. All those Disney kids, man. Tron ovaries. I'm gonna steal that. Who is that? I got to give you credit in the video. Alucard, extra girl, please note that down because I am definitely going to steal that. And I want to give him credit. I give people credit when I remember who it is when they come up with something. Hi, Gary. Did you see the new trailer for Robin Hood MGM series with Sean Bean? No. Did it look good? Let's check it out. Oh my God, Sean Bean is in Robin. Like, what is he? He's not Robin Hood. He's too old. Is he the sheriff of Nottingham? What is he? Oh wow. It's got Connie, what's her face? Oh, cool. It's kind of long. We'll watch a little bit of it. Connie Nielsen. Let's take a look. We be Robin.
I'll teach those who tread on us. Nothing will keep them safe from vengeance.
Trailer for the trailer.
These woods are as old as the earth. No man will ever own them. You've got talent, my boy. Do it again.
Wait a minute. It's not a black woman. This is terrible.
Now we rule. No one will ever know you or your kind existed.
No! That's my father!
Everything I had is gone. And you blame the sheriff. Who else?
They rob us of our coin and call it the law. They kill our people and call it justice. And yet they call us thieves. Then let us be thieves with a purpose.
We were attacked.
Taxation is theft.
A terror. By the name of Robin Hood.
You don't say much, do you, Robert of Locksley? In my culture, it's rude to stare.
In mine, it's rude not to.
The outlaw doesn't merely steal from the ground. He strikes at the very foundation of Norman authority.
Guys, there's a problem here. Do you see the problem? Chat? I am so offended right now. There is way too many white people in this show. I saw a pretty girl and I saw white people. I think this is a little problematic, don't you guys? And the themes of taxation is theft? I don't know.
He sets a dangerous precedent. Rebellion can spread.
Oh, there we go. About time we got some diversity in here. Jesus Christ. At least in Kevin Costner's Robin Hood, they explain it. I wonder if he's going to be a Moor or, is he little? Oh, shit. Is he fucking Little John? Is Little John Black? Did I speak too soon? No. Oh, no. No. You were doing so well for like a minute. But they might explain it. We'll see it. Well, of course, they're indigenous English. I see where you're going, chat. That's the stick? Is it Little John? Let's see.
Rebellion can spread.
Oh, that's going to be Little John. It's Little John. No! You were so close.
What were you praying for?
That our actions may
Diversity.
bring about some good.
Saxon and Norman, bound by love, divided by lies.
I resent everything that is Norman.
Even me. In my dreams, I will always be with you in the forest.
Connie Nielsen.
Listen to your bow. It will tell you its reach. And listen to your heart. It will tell you what is right.
Saxons and the Normans. All right. I got that part going. The best Robin Hood movie ever made. You know the answer. Is Errol Flynn's Robin Hood. Errol Flynn's Robin Hood. Fucking masterpiece. That movie. What do you mean, nope? What do you mean, no? The Adventures of Robin Hood. I've got it on the Blu-ray. I watch it once a year. It's one of my favorite all-time movies. There is no other answer. There is no other. I love the Kevin Costner one. Absolutely adore it. Men in Tights is that's not even close to the best Mel Brooks movie. It's good, but it's not even close to the best Mel Brooks movie. I like it, but Errol Flynn's Robin Hood is the shit. Go back and watch that movie, and then keep in mind that movie came out in 1938. And look at the sets on it. Look at the craftsmanship in it. Russell Crowe's Robin Hood was all right. Then there was Guy Ritchie one, right? And then, but Errol Flynn embodied the character perfectly. You're right, Brian. He did. They need to remaster that in 4K, like big time. I was fine. Like, it doesn't look super like great or anything. I don't know if that's a great description, but I was completely fine with it. If Little John is black, give me a fucking break. Stop. Just fucking stop. It's okay to make a movie about Robin Hood. We get a Robin Hood series and movie every like 2 or 3 years. You just got your Canadian government paid Robin in the Hood. It's okay to make something visually accurate from its time. It's okay. Was Robin Hood real? Where's my Robin Hood clip? I'm looking for it. Did I get rid of it? What's wrong with me? Nope. That's still there. That's still there. Yeah, it's gone. We need to find that again. Well, Garrett worked hard on that too. He did. Now, where was I? X-Ray Girl. On the new stuff. Where was I? There it is. Okay. I'm back over. Steve McNeely for $2. What about Tom Ellis for Bond? Nah. A little too how can I say this nicely? Light in the loafers. Thunderbow for $4.99. Regarding Silicon Valley, it's not headcanon, man. It's heavily implied Bodhi is Guilfoyle. It is. You're right. Since Bodhi says he spent several years working at the Bay Area at a startup. Yes, they definitely threw that in there. It is very heavily implied that Bodhi is Guilfoyle. Now, Bodhi's a little, now maybe because he's older, he's gotten a little softer. Guilfoyle was hardcore in Silicon Valley. He was great. Remember in season 1, his because he's oh my God. He's a Satanist, right? But a specific kind. And his girlfriend was the AT&T girl who was supposed to play Squirrel Girl. You know, milk truck just arrived. Yeah. She's hot in it. Rebecca Gold, what's up, Ian, for 10 British pounds? I hope you like my movie, Rebecca Gold, Gary. I've done my best to make her not a Mary Sue. She's more of a Mary occasionally gets it wrong, coming out soon. Yeah, you know what you're doing, Ian. You know what you're doing. And listen, I listened to you on Type 40 yesterday when I was on my walk. Okay. I listened to you guys. And you guys are breaking the story. Well, you're breaking we'll say rumor that an announcement of Russell T Davies leaving Doctor Who officially is imminent, right? I have no more sources. The source I had, who actually worked with them in merchandising, fucked off a long time ago because he couldn't take it anymore. But I'm sure Disney has pulled the plug on it. I am sure Russell T Davies is done, but we haven't had an official announcement. So you guys are saying that it's it's coming soon. So I also heard you arguing, Ian, because listen, we love our boy. We do. And he's really trying to stay away. Our boy Dan was like, well, you know, it's not all the message. It was also some incompetence behind the scene. You're like, no. So Dan from the Type 40 podcast was just trying to go show you production wise, like it was a mess. The show was a mess from the get go, which that I can believe, absolutely believe. And that's what led to its cancellation. Love you, Dan. What led to Doctor Who's cancellation was Russell T Davies specifically using the thing that he helped bring back as a platform for his own very personal, ideological, Marxist-based LGBTQ plus politics. And he also used the final season as very slowly raising a middle finger, or this in the UK, to all the fans who criticized it, even in the Chibnall era. That's why it failed. It wasn't good storytelling. And it was specifically made to shit on fans, period. And to double and triple down on his very niche brand of elitist, Marxist at their base, LGBTQ plus politics. That's why I failed. A show that used to be for everyone is now for no one. And it's a shame because Russell T Davies apparently became an old, bitter gay man when he could have risen above it. And if he'd never come back, his legacy would be fine. But he not only shit on his own legacy, he shit on everybody else's legacy who helped build that show up. So fuck him. And this is why you can't go home again. You can't expect George Lucas to come back and fix Star Wars because he can't. You can't bring Ronald D. Moore back to Star Trek and expect he's going to be any different than Russell T. Davies was, right? You can't expect these things. All righty. So, rated M for $4.99. Did you listen to all 3 books of the Grim Noir Chronicles? Also, Larry Corey, the author, lives in Utah. Any chance y'all could get together and talk sad puppies? I want that to happen. We're gonna make that happen. I'm trying to find a good show for it because I don't necessarily think it would be FNT. I think it would be better on a Nooner, actually. Agree Generations isn't great. Ronald Moore co-wrote it. Yes, he did. Said it wasn't their best work. They wrote season finale of TNG and were working on Star Trek Voyager at the same time of writing the script. Burnout is real. Today's Hollywood writers have no clue. Yeah, Ronald D. Moore has done some great stuff. Generations is not one of them. It is an abomination. Which is better, Superman, Triangle Era, or Exile Stories, Lord of the Rings book or movie trilogy, sexy Sydney Sweeney or Scarlett Johansson in their prime? That's a lot to ask, Yamada. Exile Stories, book for Lord of the Rings, and oh God, you're making me pick between Sydney Sweeney and Scarlett Johansson. They're great. They're both really hot and have great talents. Jonathan the Beard for 5 Chilean pesos. Dude, the fact Bill Burr went there after all that crap he was saying, unreal. It's unbelievable. But it is believable because they're all fucking phonies. I mean, oh God, who was it? Her name, Bridget Fedesi, was asked about this on some interview, and she just opened it up. Somebody asked her, right? So, what do you think about this? And she's all, first of all, I'd like to say, we're all whores. And I understand that. And if there's a comedy festival in Saudi Arabia, and let's try to let's as rosy as possible. They're trying to change. Sure. Just a few months back, they killed a journalist. Sure. They've thrown gay people off the roof. Sure. Women just are able to drive there. Their biggest mistake. Let's be real. Biggest mistake. But sure. They're trying to change. This is the same royal family that did all that shit. Right? And we have some of these comedians going after America, which that is their God-given right to do, is giving the president shit, giving people going after whoever the fuck they want to go after. That's fine. But you put yourself on a fucking pedestal like you're some, Bill Burr likes to be edgy. Bill Burr likes to be irreverent. And it's easy. Irreverent humor and being nihilistic can absolve you from caring about anything. So therefore you won't be pinned to any side if you just say, well, this is always bullshit and that's always bullshit. Right? It's a very easy position to take. But then when he goes a step further and starts saying like billionaires like Elon need to be ended, and his wife has said all the shit she said, because we are in some fascist regime, but you will take that slave owner money, because that's what it is. There's no other way to put it. It's not like there isn't a bunch of slavery in Saudi Arabia and in many other countries that these comedians go to. So that's the issue. And Whitney Cummings too, who was, seemed based for a little while, but I remember seeing her routine which was just an SJW routine about misogyny and men. Oh, and apparently now that she's had a kid, she's all based now, which is just, they're all fucking phonies. They're phonies. So it's very real that Bill Burr did that. Natrum for 300 Serbian pesos. Alien Earth really hits something Drinker said in one of the older videos. Modern movies and modern shows are written by children for children. Yep. They're anti-entertainment, as Drinker put it. Anti-entertainment. I don't agree with Joe Rogan on a lot, but credit where credit is due. He said no. So did Shane Gillis, and Tim Dillon was even smarter. Yet Tim Dillon was invited, then made a joke that I'm guessing Tim's no dummy, that he knew would get him fired. And I think that's incredibly smart. I like Tim Dillon. I do. Clank, I'm a tank for $5. I gave up on the Cleveland Browns. My Sunday now include a continuing game of Axis and Allies for 1940. When did you give back? Did you give up on them recently, or when they left the first time, which was what Art Modell did to Cleveland? That was fucking shameful. They were selling out. Like, they were a shitty team. Their attendance was high. There was tons of passion for the Browns. Art Modell gets into financial trouble, goes to fucking Baltimore, right? But at least Art left the team name. At least he did that. And they pretty quickly got the expansion team back. Cleveland never should have lost their team. That was fucking horrible. No city should lose their team. Fuck that. Fuck these billionaires. They can fucking build their own fucking stadiums. No taxpayer money for fucking sports, for entertainment. Ever. Oh, it brings in jobs. And no, it doesn't. Not a football game. Now, an argument can be made for a baseball park where there's multiple games played. Multiple games played. An argument can be made. Still, these are billionaires. They can build their own fucking shit. Now, if you want to give them tax breaks, the cities, yes. I think the cities should give them tax breaks because taxation is theft. But no money from citizens, period. Now, if you want to give them bonds, if you want to do all that stuff, that's fine. I don't care. I don't care about that. But I am anti-taxing human beings in any way, shape, or form for fucking private sports teams. They can afford it. The NFL can more than afford it. And San Diego got fucked over. But I hate Spanos. I think he's a prick. He always wanted to move to LA. Fuck that guy. But the city of San Diego has their share of the responsibility for being a bunch of incompetent retards. San Diego has an airport that's about 40 years out of date. They have been talking about refurbishing the San Diego Lindbergh Field since the 80s, since I was a kid, and they haven't. It's California. They had the 56 freeway. They just stopped building it. In California, that has nothing to do with San Diego. It's a high-speed train. It's just a regular train going to fucking nowhere. You know, that's San Diego. The convention center, it's needed to be expanded forever. And that is San Diego's. And they can afford it. And they could do the planning, but the hoteliers are stopping them because the hoteliers don't want Comic-Con. It's a long thing, but they're going to lose Comic-Con in a couple of years. San Diego's pretty stupid. But now they're LA, and I don't miss them at all. Marty Gray for 20 British pounds. Hi, Gary. Want to say thank you. Been 10 months cigarette free. Oh, congratulations on that. Hardest thing to quit. Hardest thing to quit. More importantly, I'm 2 months alcohol free. More applause. Being sober wasn't a high I was looking for, but I can't seem to come down. Be well. Marty, you're on the pink cloud right now. All right. There's a saying, my fellow brothers and sisters in sobriety and chat will know what I'm talking about. There's the pink cloud. Because you've now like gotten all the chemicals out of your system and you're feeling like really good for the first time and probably questioning why you ever drank in the first place. Hold on to that feeling. Because remember, alcohol and drugs were just a symptom of a greater problem that you probably have to look into, but it's fucking great that you got 10 and smoking. Like, I tell all my my sponsees back in the day when they ask me, it's like, should I quit smoking too? It's like, no. Oh God, no. Do not quit smoking. Keep smoking for at least a year. I know that sounds terrible, but that's too much. It's just too much. It's also, stay out of a relationship for a year. Nobody listens to that one. Fucking nobody listens to that one. They just don't, chat. I didn't listen either. But it really is a meaningful one. It is work on yourself. Don't complicate things with a relationship. Congratulations, though. Chris B for $2. Watch women's volleyball. It's great to watch. A beach volleyball? Yes. Flint Ironstag. Welcome as traveler. Welcome. As a traveler? What are we on, X-Raker? Oh, yeah, that's right. Traveler. Got mixed up for a second. Gary reading my Secret Wars omnibus. Dr. Doom is great. Yes. I'm looking up my spinner rack because the entire Secret Wars is great. It has a great toy line. Very expensive. Sounded like Trump. Very expensive toys. The best toys, very expensive. Pricey in the collectible market. Love Secret Wars. Tundra Cat for $9.99. Gary, what was the most controversial opinion on an adoption or reimagining? For me, it's that I think the 12 Monkeys TV show was better than the movie. While I don't agree, I don't necessarily think that's controversial. I think I enjoyed that show. It was Terry Metalis. That was a fun show. They killed Nazis in that show. It's a fun show. It's a fun show. It's nothing like the movie, though. I am a Terry Gilliam's kind of my all-time favorite director. I think he absolutely embodied like surrealism. He embodies surrealism in film and makes it commercially viable, if that makes any sense. His movies feel like a fever dream. Even the normal ones. Fisher King is fantastic. Utterly fantastic. Brazil. Time Bandits. Adventures of Baron Munchausen. 12 Monkeys. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. These are fucking all-time great movies. But a difficult guy to work with because like he is artistically uncompromising, which I respect. What is a controversial movie opinion? Adaptation or reimagining? What's better than the book? Oh, I think I think the Dune movie's better than the book. That'll be controversial. I think it's better than the book. I'll trigger him. I got one. Boromir's death. Boromir's death is handled better in the movie. It is. I could be honest. The book jumps off it too soon. It does. There's more emotional resonance to the death in the movie. Terry Gilliam was a Dragon Con. He signed everything for the fans. Dude, he's for one, he's based. He's secretly based. Not on like I don't think he's putting a MAGA hat on, but I'm talking about political correctness, and like he is very based on that. Old Dune or new Dune? Okay, like I'm gonna be fair. I can't. I've tried getting through the Dune book multiple times. It's not my thing. Hail side scrollers, thank you. For the raid. It's not my thing. It's just not. I've tried with the book multiple times since I was a kid. I like a little more. It's the world building's magnificent. It's really cool, but man, there's just no like. There's not a lot of levity. I like levity. I like fun. Is it Is it possible to invite Zachary Levi and FT? Yeah, I'll invite him. I don't know if he doesn't say yes, I won't be offended. There's people we could invite, and I don't because I don't want to bring them any undue trouble. But I think we're kind of past those days. I think if he comes on, he'll be fine. So X-Ray Girl, let's get Zachary Levi on. Let's see what he says. And again, if he says no, I won't be offended at all. I seriously. Would I invite Obama on FNT? Yes, I would. As long as I could call him Barry. And I can ask him things like, so how do you feel about droning your own citizens? I would fanboy over Chuck. Chuck's a great show, dude. And I did like the first Shazam movie. Didn't like the second one, though. Did not. Yeah, so my controversial one would be Boromir's death is handled better in the movies than in the book. Soy Predator, aka Redditor, says Andimus for $4.99. At the end of the movie, the Predator takes the name Skywalker, says Portal Joe for $5. Zachariah Nunez is a traveler, says, don't worry, X-Ray Girl. There are only 2 Predator movies. That's true. This is true. X-Ray Girl's done her homework. She's done a lot of homework for nerd school. So I'm proud of her for that. She's doing her work. Should be more like Primal cartoons, silent. Woogie Boob Bufuff. I agree. John the Beard for 2 Chilean pesos. Fire and ass. Okay, I like that. Yeah, Avatar's going to be shit. Tron ovaries, or more appropriate title. Alucard, you're absolutely right. Jake Tommen for $4.99. Gary, what's your favorite theater experience? Mine is Avengers 1. I was 9 years old and thought it was the coolest movie ever made. It got me into comics. There's so many. All right, the things that stick in my mind are 4. First time I saw Star Wars in the theater, and I was a young 7-year-old, and I saw the Star Destroyer fly over and heard the crowd gasp audibly, and not like, like a very loud, on time, perfect, entire theater gasps at how big that, and it's something you can't even explain to the youngsters. We had never seen anything like that ever. like not even fucking maybe. Well, the effects of 2001 were like the closest thing but seeing that fucking like what the fuck, that was crazy. That was an amazing theater experience. Raiders of the Lost Ark, seeing that as a 12-year-old, my friend Doug, for the first time. I had heard of Saturday morning serials, but I had never seen one. So I didn't know what all the references and influences were. All I know is I walked out of that movie and I wanted to be a fucking archaeologist that kicked ass. That's all I know. It was the greatest movie I'd ever seen. And we watched it a fucking 100 times over that year, and it stayed in theaters for 2 years. But yeah, seeing everything about Indiana Jones was fucking cool. Everything about it. Blade Runner, I didn't know what noir was when I saw that as a young 12-year-old. My mom took me with my friend Doug again, Doug Johnson. And we saw that, and I get back and people are saying it sucked and it was boring. And Doug and I were like, I've never seen a movie like that before. Like that really blew my the special effects blew my mind, but it was the mood, the lighting, it was noir. And I didn't know I was seeing noir at the time. And I'm like, everything about this is fucking cool. This is great. This is, just changed my, really just view on cinema as a young 12-year-old. And then walking out of Fellowship for the first time. And walking out, because when I went in to go see Fellowship, I saw the trailers and I'm like, hey, if this is like I didn't have the highest expectations for Lord of the Rings. I was pretty jaded. I was like, you can't adapt this book. You just can't do it. Can't be done. But if you give me something semi-good, I'll be happy. And that's where my expectations were. And when I walked out of that, and I'm like, I just saw one of the greatest movies ever made. I'll probably never have that experience again. That's when I walked out. Like, that's the first thing I said. I got it. Who did I go with? It was in San Diego. So I'm pretty sure Jay was probably there. My friend Jay, maybe even Doug. First wife. And I walked out of that going, we just saw a classic. We just saw a Hollywood classic. That was fucking amazing. And yeah, I haven't had that feelings. Watching the Avengers for the first time was just, it was kind of a dream come true. And it's like, holy shit, they did it. They made a superhero team movie, and it's still in my top 5 all-time superhero movies. I love the Avengers. But yeah, like walking out, just going, I just watched a classic. We don't experience that much anymore, if ever. Gary, what's your favorite? Okay. Jake Tommen for $4.99. Gary, what's your why is there 2? Okay. Gun Fan Copium is Jake Tommen again. Gun Fan Copium is reminding me a lot of the Disney Star Wars Copium, saying at least The Force Awakens and TLJ were greater than the prequels. All they say is at least it's better than Snyder. You're right. I want to clarify this by, if you like Superman, that's fine. Nobody cares. Like I have no problem with you liking the movie, and we can. There's a bunch of stuff we can disagree on, but what I started seeing early on, and now it's getting to hysterical levels. It is a lot like The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens. Now, The Force Awakens, when it came out and everybody was loving it, not everybody, 2/3 of the people were just fucking amazed by it and stuff. And there was the third that was a combination of, it just kind of hit the beats of all the first one, but I didn't think it was bad. Looks like it's going somewhere, right? And I was questioning my own reality, because I saw it. I'm like, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. And I really hated that they killed Han Solo. And people are okay with this. So I started questioning, and there was a point, this was, early on in the podcast days, the podcast might be out there. I was like, you know what? Maybe I've lost my taste. Maybe I've lost my connection to pop culture. Maybe my time has come and gone. It's like, obviously everybody loves this movie and I don't get it, to where I watched it again. I'm like, maybe if I watch it again, I'll like it. And I'm going to try to convince myself to like this movie. This was early days, mind you. And I didn't like it at all. I fucking hated how they killed Han Solo. I felt the same way after it was Generations. It was Star Trek Generations for me. It's like, fuck this. Han Solo doesn't go out like that. And it's such a wildly stupid decision to do it in your first Star Wars movie where you bring them back. We've already gone over ad infinitum, but it's The Last Jedi was when people started coming around, but it was still half and half. But the hysterical coping, with The Last Jedi, it was, this will be appreciated in 10 years as a classic. Well, clock is fucking ticking. Clock is ticking on that prediction. With Superman, it's almost like people have their identity wrapped up in the movie. I don't get it. I like Gunn's work. The last Gunn film to come out before Superman, I gave a very positive review of, that half my friends fucking hated. And yes, I did hate what they did to Warlock in that movie, but I gave it a positive review. I liked the Suicide Squad. I have never liked Peacemaker. I didn't like season 1. It's not good. It's pretty woke. And it's very woke in season 2. Now, if you're asking, why does James Gunn get a pass on shit that other people don't? That's a good question. I'm seeing a lot of inconsistency out there. Now, if you're just like, I'm a stan for Gunn and I'm going to root for him because I think he's going to be anti-Marvel, I mean, at least that'd be honest. But yeah, I thought I was going to like Superman better, and I did, and I didn't. And the discourse over this movie, which is solely over box office and profitability and not over substance of the actual film, says everything. Starting to come to more of a reality, considering that it has a very good chance of not, I'm not saying it'll happen, but I'm saying there's a chance that Superman might not be in the top 10 top earners of this year. It's at number 7 now. If it gets knocked out by Zootopia 2, if it gets knocked out by Wicked, and it gets knocked out by Avatar, that puts that sumbitch out of the top 10. It makes it the 11th. And all this fighting over the 11th highest grossing movie of 2025 that had more expectations on it than any other. If Avatar doesn't make $1 billion, that will be a bigger disappointment. That's the only thing that could possibly be a bigger disappointment than Superman is. Avatar is going to make $1 billion in like a day. But we've gone over and over and over and over and over. It's like, it wasn't that good. It wasn't a good movie at all to me. But it's a mediocre movie that had a mediocre box office that's going to have probably a mediocre cultural imprint. And, we'll find out when Supergirl comes out. We'll find out. But we already kind of know. Peacemaker Season 2, a direct follow-up to Superman, James Gunn said it was the most important thing, has yet to chart on the Nielsen ratings. Cole Hauser, praise Allah. Are we sure Riva won't show up? I'm not sure. Alucard for $2. The story in Robin Hood is no different from now. Men in Tights, Little John couldn't swim either, says Snex. Quarter Black Garrett, I have a higher cheek. Quarter Black Garrett, I have higher cheekbone, says John Beard. Rockbert for 5,000 ARSs. Gary, you and the guys from FNT should definitely watch Space King. Awesome cartoon. I think you'll love it. Okay. Greedy Graffiti for $9.99. I'll check it out. That dude saying he didn't want to be reviewing movies at 65 like he owned sounded dumb. That was Chris Stuckmann, one of the biggest movie reviewers out there. This is how Chris Stuckmann, millions of subs, this is how he would review a movie. I have just seen Blade Runner, a movie starring Harrison Ford about robots and their place in the world. It was directed by Ridley Scott. And I found he had to come around on it, by the way. He had to come around on it. Initially, he didn't like it. But most of his reviews are starting out with telling you who stars in it, who directs it, what the budget was, what the box office was in a 6-minute review. And by about the third minute, he'll get into an overall generalization of what he kind of liked about it. I really liked the lighting and the set design. I thought that was quite good. So I think you should go see it. Yeah, half of it would be spent, Rutger Hauer is playing Roy Batty, and the special effects were done by, oh my God, why am I blanking on his name now? He just passed away. Douglas Trumbull. God damn it. That's what happens when you have a stream fart. I've been going on for 3 hours. Special effects by Douglas Trumbull and music by Vangelis. But yeah, that's like half of his review, right? When like Jeremy Johns, who is great, when he does a review, so they do early reviews, and I understand you don't want to spoil them. You're just trying to like, hey, I'm giving my overall general thoughts on the movie. It's fine. So no disrespect there. But there's a way to do it that's more engaging and entertaining. Jeremy Johns is because he has a personality. So he has something Stuckmann doesn't, a personality. But it's also a charming personality. And he's very good at presenting his videos. And he will also give you, without spoiling a movie, you will know what he thinks about the movie. You won't question like, so what does this fucker actually think about the movie? But I guess early days on YouTube, you can get away with like basically saying nothing. It ain't like that anymore. Now there's a lot of people who try to avoid spoilers, especially when it's something they really, really want to see, and I understand that most of my reviews spoil the fuck out of everything. It's usually because they're a couple days late. I don't see shit early. So I figure it's a couple days late. People have already seen the movie. So maybe they're going to see like what other people thought about what they saw, whatever. That's kind of my attitude towards it. And congratulations to Stuckmann for parlaying that into making a movie. But I think one of the key components of an artist is passion. So we'll see if that comes out. Maybe it's just hidden away. Maybe it's just hidden away. Being much closer to 65 than he is, there was a lot of stuff I said when I was younger as I don't want to be 50 years old doing that. I was a dumb motherfucker when I was young. When you get older, you get a little more perspective. You get a little more gratitude. And what Stuckmann, and maybe he becomes a great filmmaker, or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he gets this one shot from Flanagan as an EP, and then he's going to have to live out his life making like little horror movies, and maybe he'll go, maybe YouTube wasn't so bad. One of the biggest mistakes I see young content creators doing is they get into YouTube and they want to parlay it into something else when your real talent was YouTube, and you should have just stayed on YouTube. Because you have no idea how fucking great this job is. And what while it takes a mindset, and despite what people say, there is a talent involved, it's also the easiest fucking job in the world that I've done. For sure. Absolutely. And I've done a lot of things. I've had multiple careers. I've done a lot of hard jobs. Driven railroad ties. I've fought fires. The worst of all, retail. Like fighting a fire is easier than retail. Dealing with some fucking Karen. Some guy yelling at you, you just want to punch in the fucking mouth, and you can't. All that restraint. At least a fire is honest. But no, like this is firing up a stream, and this is the easiest job in the fucking world. Now, there is work, but if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life, right? But there is what goes into my channel's research and editing and all this planning and all that. I'm not very good at planning, to be honest with you. Just not. But it's easiest job in the world. So I hope I'm still doing this at 65. That'd be great. Still doing this at 65. I'll be in hospice when I'm 90. Ryan will come by and visit me, his dear old dad in hospice. And I'll be talking about the 37th take on Alien and Predator. That's on a streaming service that's called Warner Mount Hulu, because they're all combined. HBO, Hulu, Warner Mount, Disney Plus. Rated M for $1.99. Let the Little John rapper in Robin Hood AI meme begin. We be Robin. Hi, Gary. This is Jesus from Orlando, Florida. A big MCU fan until they ruined my favorite Thor in Endgame / Love and Thunder. Found Jeremy's channel. Now I follow you and Drinker and Ryan. Big fan of you all. Got all you guys since 2021. Jesus, thank you, brother. Thank you for the $10. I appreciate it. Stymie for $19.99. Gary, I'd have both Sydney Sweeney and Scarlett Johansson. Beardo is still gay. I have Beardo catching strays in all the fucking streams, and I'm here for it. Mad Dog for $4.99. I recommend the two to ramble book YouTubers. They're Gen Z and Friends with Mike. Book reviews, and they mainly do fantasy and sci-fi. Okay. Tundra Cat for $4.99. If Doctor Who never went to absolute shit, who would you like to have played the Doctor? For me, Robert Carlyle or Tom Misson. I'm not against either of those, by the way. I'm not against fucking Hugh Laurie. So I get to pick whoever I want. Hugh Laurie, but if you want to go young, who would be a good Doctor? I had one the other day, and I'm blanking on it now. I don't think Martin Freeman's right for the Doctor. Oh my God, what's his name? I'll get his name. I'm blanking on his name now. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? No. I think Aidan Turner would be a good Doctor. Dude, Hugh Laurie would fucking kill as the Doctor. He'd be great if he wanted to do it. I mean, if I got my choice. And you can say, well, he's a little bit like Capaldi. Eddie Redmayne. Yes, Eddie Redmayne would be good. He's got to speak up a little more. I mean, he practically was the Doctor. In Fantastic Beasts. I mean, he was the fucking Doctor. He was Matt Smith's Doctor. He was just a little mumbly. And that always bothered me that he was so mumbly in that movie in Fantastic Beasts. But he was fucking Matt Smith's Doctor. Jake Payne for $4.99. Gary, 20 months being friends with Bill. Oh, congratulations. Hell yeah. Watching some of your videos gave me a nudge. Love you, man. I'm glad you got the nudge. 20 months. You're going on 2 years. Congratulations. New lease on life. Sobriety's based, by the way. Thoughts on the Amazing Spider-Man movies? Jake Tammon for $1.99. Andrew Garfield was the best shit talking Spider-Man while he's fighting. That was the one thing the Tobey movies missed, was the shit talking Spider-Man. Not great. First one's way better. I hate the second one. I hate the second one. The costumes sucked. Well, the second costume was better. It was more like that was an Ultimate Spider-Man costume he was basically in. But I own them. Haven't rewatched them. I think they're kind of sterile. They're kind of sterile. But Andrew Garfield, seeing him come back in Far From Home, or No Way Home, was great. God, those fucking titles suck. Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home. It's so retarded. Do more business for $5.86. Hey, Gary, I just turned 18 and have been interested in politics for a long time. I'm a conservative from Ireland, but every party is communist. Should I pursue politics in the U.S. legally, of course? Yeah, they're a little better here. Yeah, Europe really just wants to be communist. They really do. Despite like living right next to the horrors of it for many years and seeing it better than anybody in the States could have seen, interacting with Eastern Europeans who are going, it really sucks. Poland, go ask anybody in Poland. Rufio 6789 for $9.99. I keep rewatching those last 2 episodes of Picard season 3. For me, these it's the epitome of what many geeks ever wanted from old franchise return. No, not ashamed to say, I always get teary-eyed. Yeah, dude. When the Enterprise D comes out of that space dock, that is fucking awesome. Jimmy the Singing Drummer for 10 Martian pesos. Had a dream, Beardo on FNT. Please do it, Gary. I don't know. The more people ask, the less I want to do it. So we're going to wrap it up there. We'll definitely do a part 2 later in the week. Hope you all have a good Monday, who is streaming? Who's streaming?
I had it routed to Film Threat, but they start in 30 minutes, but there might be someone live now. Let me see.
I don't see anybody. I could be wrong. Eric's streaming. Mahler's streaming.
Mahler, and it's his birthday.
Birthday
Actually,
stream,
that's a
yeah.
good idea.
Send people over to Mahler Plays Look Outside. Time for a Spooktober birthday stream.
Yes. Wish him a happy birthday.
Wish him a happy birthday. A Spooktober birthday. And I'm going to work on a video, I guess. Start to work on one. It won't be out tomorrow, probably Wednesday. This one went a little longer than I thought, but it's okay. I'm my own boss and I can decide my own schedule. So there. And I hope to still be doing that when I'm 65.
Also, if you want, Gary's going to be here in Scottsdale, Arizona for Quest for Ancient Civilizations, where you can see even Y-Files, AJ, Jimmy Corsetti, David Hatcher-Childress, Hugh Newman, William Henry, and get to talk about ancient civilizations. And yeah, if you guys are interested, there are live stream passes as well as in-person passes. So
yeah, I'll be running. Not running, but I'll be hosting the live stream part of it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing. Last episode of Ancient Aliens was pretty good. It's about giants, and it has Hugh Newman in it and William Henry. A couple people from this. So there. Who else is in it? Yeah, it's just William Henry, who's and David Hatcher-Childress, William, and so 3 of these guys were in the last episode of Ancient Aliens. Can't wait to meet David Hatcher-Childress. It's gonna be awesome. All right, so thanks everyone. Thanks to the Nerdrotics. Thanks to everyone who left a super chat and donation. We'll do another. We'll do a Nerdrotic at night. Guess we can kind of bring those back a little bit, not regularly, but a little bit. And we'll be on Real BBC on Az's channel tomorrow on the Real BBC. And in the meantime, y'all have a good day and go wish Mahler a happy birthday. Ciao, everyone.